Hey, get to the boat. Good evening, friend. How you doing? How you doing? What-ho and welcome. We're doing our own teeny tiny evening show. So, get to the boat. What is going down with your good self? I'm just letting people know we're doing an evening show. Listening to some chill jams and hanging out with your good selves.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Ticket to you fucking lunch! What ho, friend? What ho, indeed. How you doing, Ticket 2? How are you doing? This morning was exceptionally awesome. And I was in two minds about whether or not to do an additional show this evening, but, like, I've had a great feckin' weekend, and the games industry's been doing some interesting stuff, so I'm like, yo, let's do some Sniper Elite 3. Let's blap at each other. Tigger says, I'm sad I missed the early stream. Oh, I'm sorry you missed out on that too. I mean, this ain't gonna surprise anyone, but, you know, Joe Cat was lovely. Oh, that actually reminds me, because Beadora was asking me to upload the VODs. But yes, now you do have a really rad badge, Ticket 2. Now you really do. What will you do with your newfound powers? Sorry. That ping in the background was some sneaky, cheeky business stuff. Also, Ticket 2, as I guess you're the... Oh, and Navalis. What? Oh, again. You'll get to be the little good news. So, the people here at GameWorks have offered to extend our sponsorship until after PAX. So, if it's a thing that we want to do as a group, we can stay here, and then we can do cool shows over PAX and stuff like that. So, yeah. I get to tell you first. So, woo! I am super excited with it, and considering how excellent everyone here at GameWorks has been, it makes me exceptionally happy, friendos. Like, exceptionally happy. Pod Spectre says, how long is that then? Alright, well, if it is the 7th now, so that would take us through to September... that would take us through until... At the very earliest, Tuesday, September the 3rd. So that means I can plan some IRL events. There are a couple of exceptionally cool games industry people that I want to introduce you to who are local. And now I can start planning that. This week's going to be a little bit hectic because we have tomorrow and Thursday. Thursday, we're going to do a short stream in the morning. And then a long stream in the evening because I've been invited to be on a community manager's podcast. So you'll get a full day of Will if you want it. It's just, it'll be chopped up into a bunch. On Friday, we have kind of like old school badass journo, Susan Arndt is going to be coming on the show. And Susan's kind of a bit of an old friend. I used to hook Susan up with pins from PAX Australia back in the day, and back during the golden age of the Escapists, I was a really big fan of their writing, so I'm really excited to have them on the show. And then Saturday, I want to do more Dark Souls on Saturday. How do you all feel on that one? Also, Vanderbeest, welcome back. What ho! How are you doing, friends? And you know what? Whoever the anonymous cheer is who's been dropping single bits, I haven't acknowledged your spooky ghostery. But sincerely, I do appreciate it. Like, the spooky bits do stack up, my friends. They do stack up. And, yeah.
Reactor online.
Yo!
Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Thank you for streaming.
Prof, I'm here because you lot keep me here. All right? So thank you. And that's a nice looking 9-month gold badge you got there. Tanari, wow, what? Oh, friend. Welcome back. How are you all doing? Oh, Tanari's saying someone can't sleep. We've all been there. And if I go a little bit quiet, I'm just blepping at Tal, who is currently at Develop Bright at the moment. He's in the field helping people, so, yeah. Saglan! What? Oh, how are you doing, friend? How are you doing? Because I'm doing bloody marvellously. I'm doing bloody marvellous. Also, I mean, maybe it's something to... Oh, Salin says one hell of a brain melting day, so surviving. Numbers! What? Oh! Oh yeah, so that's what I was going to ask. Because we could do a little bit of the... Could do a little bit of the schedule while we're here. Although, what was I going to do? Oh, I was going to upload a couple of tracks, a couple of streams for Beadora. How come Bloodstained Part 2 is up, not Bloodstained Part 1? That's weird. That's exceptionally weird. YouTube's fucking useless! Number says I'm getting a 4th day of work next week. Nice! No, it's not. Oh, YouTube's just being a pile. YouTube's just a pile of shite in the background there. Alright, so it was Bloodstained Part 1. Sorry, bear with me all a second while I'm doing this. So you've all got time to grab yourself a bevy. So what we're going to be doing this afternoon, so Lily Longbean, Pyro Shade, Diver, what? Oh, friends! We're going to be playing some Sniper Elite 3. Come join us. I'm going to, we'll jump in Discord. There's a bunch of games industry stuff I'd love to chat with you all about. I don't want to turn it into a beat G2A with a stick banter, but I think it's worth talking about. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're going to be chatting about this afternoon. Number says I should be able to tell you what I've been working on. Yes. So Numbers, I have no idea. Nah, it's going to be dope. It's going to be dope. And Numbers, you better believe we're going to be supporting the bloody hell out of it here. Caffeine and Pyroshed said, but it's G2A. They kind of deserve it. They do. No, actually, Numbers. Ket didn't. But that's another story. Lily says, been very unproductive lately, it feels bad. Oh, I know that feel. I mean, I hope it snaps back, dear friend, because, yeah, I know those feels. Bear with me all a second. Anyway, so friendos, there's a fair bunch of good stuff to talk about games industry-wise. Like, it's not just smacking G2A with a stick. Now, G2A are shifty as hell, and they attempted to do some very, very shady stuff, and then threw someone under the bus when it didn't when it went down. So I'm still like, ooh. So bear with me all just a second. Bear with me all just a second. I do apologize. I do apologize. Although I shouldn't really complain about having so many wonderful friendos. I was chatting with somebody on the break, and I was just saying, well, you'll know I get very. You know what? Actually, I'm going to veto my own topic of conversation. Let's talk about video games. Let's talk about the fact that Pokemon Go. So Pokemon Go, the phenomenon that was the long-running like mobile Pokemon title, has since launch, not in profit but in revenue, made $2.6 billion. 2.6 billion. Yeah, that's the thing that happened. Now, I choose to see this in the sense that it was an existing IP presented in a manner that was accessible to everyone and creating something that was super engaging to everybody. Yes, the depth of the gameplay doesn't match what we as kind of core Pokemon players have seen, but then also it's so accessible to the point as to bring in a massive new audience and has created a huge impact, not on gaming, but on culture. And the fact that they've made that much green, I think is something that needs to be celebrated, you know what I'm saying? Or at least that's my humble opinion. Right. What was I doing? I was doing stuff. I think I'm nearly there. I'm nearly done. Ah, feck it. I'll just come back to those later. Rainier Watto, friend! Rainier says, is it me or we'll just live at conventions? Rainier, I'm at GameWorks, yo. Like, yes, I do go to a lot of conventions, but not as many as I used to. Now I don't have a lovely tech company or games industry to pay for my travel, like I have to be a little bit more tactful. I will say I do miss having an expense account. And weirdly, I don't miss having an expense account for having money. I miss being able to pay for food for me and friendos, because that's pretty much all I spend money on. Alright. We'll come back to those later. Caffeine says, what else you call 3 corgis in a trench coat? Point. What was the other thing that I really wanted to banter about with you lot? Forgive my itchy nose. I mean, do we really need to talk about G2A? Like, I'm down to talk about G2A, and I can keep it as positive as possible. I mean, the reason I always get a little bit like with G2A is that I get an email from every month informing me that they're charging me money because I have an inactive account. Now, what they mean is they start taking away money from your G2A wallet if you don't log in. But it also means that, by my understanding, I'm in, like, negative. And I'm like, yo. Just Diver says, did you see the YouTube link I dropped in Discord about balancing resources to keep players engaged? I did. It's something that has been manually done in a lot of games very, very successfully, and it's interesting to see it working with a lot of these cool ones. Now, we haven't done, it's not Outworld, it's the Outward? Feck. It's a game that came out this year that I know DJ played a bunch of. They did a great job of balancing that. So, yeah. jumping back to Ticketoo's point, yeah, it's super predatory, and G2A have profited on indie companies basically getting fecked over. Like, they are a grey market in a dark soot kind of manner. Like, it's grey, but leaves a stain. The amount of potentially illegal activities that go through G2A that they profit from is kind of like... and recently, they tried to do an influencer campaign with outlets, content creators, media, where people said nice things about G2A, and they weren't... In the contract they were presented, they were not allowed to say that we're being paid by G2A. So what G2A has done, they blamed the person that sent out the contracts for this one specifically. Now, I have no inside information in this space, but if you are asking me, if you were a games company and you're asking my advice, I would tell you that there's some shady stuff going down there, and that they are prepared to burn their own staff to get away from it. That's what I would say. Caffeine says, do you want to set up the lobby? Nah, Caffeine, I got this. I like setting up the lobby. I like doing that. So, friendos, we're going to be chatting games industry stuff for the next few hours, and we're going to be doing it while we play Sniper Elite 3 together. We're going to be playing our house match, Hotel Scipio, 1 hour match, no time limit, and you are all cordially invited to come on in. And if you want to jump on Discord and have a chat and a banter whilst we're doing that, you're more than welcome. Because... Aww. So Rainier, sorry, I missed your comment earlier saying that if I ever succeed and become a successful game developer, I'll give you the best large expense account you've ever seen. Hey, Rainier, if you succeed in becoming a great game dev, I mean, I will accept any and all, like, donations and bits. I am not above being your, one of your wheelhouse of influences. Oh god, I said influencer unironically. John, what have I become? I used the word I hate the most. What have I become, Jump? Actually creeps me out looking at the shark face. No, you should absolutely use that cash to create a small, sustainable studio. If you end up with millions and millions, and want to throw one this way, then we will host the Longship Convention. It will be called LongCon, and it will be dope. And you could be the official sponsor of that. Alright. Yeah, thank you, Spooky Ghost! Alright, so... Deathmatch. Rat Run. Time limit. 60. Maximum players. 12. Base rate low. Respawn time. Lately. Single bullet reload. Don't force respawn. Don't track player killer. Radar threats. Lobby name will be Viking Blonde again. Password, let's keep it the same as earlier today with friendos. So let me create that up. And yes, I will be the gentleman in shorts. You're all welcome to join, and I will add people to the conversational lobby as they come on in. Hayshift says that's a long con, eh? Get it? So the gentleman behind the financing website XE actually followed me on Twitter, and I'm really tempted to just message him and be like, look, please forgive me for being exceptionally rude, but like, as an individual with access to funds, would you ever consider funding something like this? Aaron says, heck, if I get involved in convention level, I have experience in reg and ops. I can head a department. My dear, Hell Dwarf! Lurk away, friend, lurk away, but it's lovely to see you. Plateau. So Aaron, what I would actually do is I would use those funds to pay an events company, because I want you to come with. You know, if we do a mech event, if we get some of those like mech warrior pods or something like that, I don't want you to have to spend the whole time running it. It may also end up being a very, very, very party-like event. Oh, was it friendo or friendos? Lowercase f, and it was definitely plural. Friendos. So is there anyone I haven't said hello to? Because I'm pretty sure I said hello to Hey Shift and everybody. Also, for those of you that were in this morning, I hope you had a good time. There was a lot popping off at once with Joe Cat's group, our group, and everyone kind of crashing together. But like, to those of you that jumped in and played earlier today, fecking thank you, friends. That ended up being a fecking great day. And now we get to sit around and talk about video games, so I'm happy. Hang on, let me just bring this up. Get this all sorted. Ah, Streamlabs, why are you like this? Oh, I found out why Streamlabs is like this. It's because we've moved... There we go. Because we've moved between multiple places. And Just Dive says the multi-stream thing was pretty cool. It is, it is. Sometimes multi-streams can be a mess, and sometimes they can be really, really good fun. So, it's just making sure it works, you know what I mean? Getting that all together. Ah, Naboo Head. What, oh friend? Saying hella will. Exceptional amounts of will. That's how we're rolling. So yeah, we are playing Sniper Elite 3. You are welcome to join us. The game is Viking Blong. The password is Friendos. Can you jump to the password? I'm trying Friendos and getting timed out. I can back up. I can host a new lobby. Create game. Fry Endos. Yeah, Friendos. Lobby name Viking space Blonde. Single bullet reload. No player kill. So there we go, Caffeine. I've hosted a new one, so give it a shot. Vanderbeest says, "Oh, you can do another Euro Truck multi-stream." I'd like to, Vanderbeest. I'd like to. It's getting just one person together is a real challenge, and trying to get a large group together is very, very difficult. There. Thank you, Hell Dwarf. So yeah, that's. Oh God. Let's move a little bit closer, shall we? And how's the audio coming through, Freddos? I've been slowly tweaking and changing to try and eat out as much of the background arcade noise as possible. Because, for the most part, it doesn't bother me, but some days it really does. So, how y'all doing? Alright. Just Diver says, "No, I want to hear that nice shot. Good work. You're in the lead." Pyro Shade's in the fine. Oh, and Chrono's coming in. Yo! So yeah, I guess for Caffeine and peeps that didn't hear it earlier, so I can now say, Friendos, we've been offered an extension in our little space here. So if we want to, we have the space up until after PAX, which I think I'm gonna take that offer. I really like the people here, and I really enjoy spending time with them. And I gotta say, it's feckin' cool. Like, when I'm done this afternoon, I'm probably not gonna drink because I had a lot this weekend, but I'm gonna go over to the bar and hang out with friends. Navala says they're not seeing the lobby. Interesting. Chrono's here. Pun Spectre says, "Is this a game that might be played multiple times in the future? I have low amounts of disk space, but I could download it for next time." So, Pun Spectre, this is one of the ones we come back to intermittently. And Caffeine, we're in no rush. We're in no rush. We'll get... Because I know Caffeine's trying to connect. If there's anyone else that's jumping in that's having a hard time, let me know. And we'll make sure you all get to hang out. Chrono says it's a fun low pressure game mode as well. I really enjoy the pace. Like, it can get it can get intense, but it's not run, shoot, 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 shoot. And it kind of leans itself real well to good banter, which is what we're going to be using this for this afternoon. This is going to be our little vehicle for talking about the games industry. So, yo, that's what we're going to be doing. Nivalis says they're going to restart stream as well. Okay. Oh, Rainier, I do apologize. I've still got Nightbot on to blep links by non-subs, just because we had a bunch of scrapers try and drop like shifty links in chat. It's nothing against your good self. I didn't even see what it was you were posting, but yeah. It's just to kind of help with nonsense. Oh, what are you posting, Caffeine? Alright, so that was from Rainier. What was it? Oh, god darn it. Sorry, bear with me just a second. That was what Rainier just posted. I'm sure that's not going to come back and bite me in the ass. Yo!
Enjoy the meme macro XD.
Rainier, you're both a legend and a criminal in equal measure. But thank you for the sub, yo. Like, I know Twitch Prime's a hassle because you have to, like, ping it at someone manually every month, but throwing it here is a big help. So, yo! Also, I do want to say, if you missed out on the Balu Bowl from Saturday, you missed a treat. Like, I'm not saying I ever doubted Baron Sheep, but, like, the idea of how much fun people would have controlling teams of robots in a tabletop system and duking it out, I didn't really know. And I didn't think it was going to be as dope as it was. For those of you that missed it, I think it was, I want to say, Chrono Heron versus Numbers, where one of Chrono's team basically did this, like, Jet Li the One style Kung Fu 3-on-1 match. Numbers won it, but, like, oh, it was fucking dope. And then the follow-up match with, was it, I want to say Vagabond. Vagabond, who had, like, the psychic Texan Kool-Aid Man. And then I managed to give, was it Archer of the Eye? Or was it Arrow Griffin? I managed to give someone a super dope, like, knife fight finale in a light mech, which I thought was heckin' cool. And then a bunch of people, yeah. A bunch of people threw some really, really cool things. Threw in a bunch of bits so that we could do the thing, and it ended up being dope. Rainier was saying, is this a tabletop D&D campaign you've been doing, right? Yes! The system's called Stars Without Number, but yeah. It's the continuing adventures of Thick McRunfast. And what we decided was, because the Balu Bowl is in-universe, this big mech tournament. And it's basically all the giant robot, light mech, and suit mech companies competing. Not necessarily to win, but to show off, to get people to spend money. Numbers says, do you think you go a whole match without singing the Hotel Scipio drinks are free? I don't know. That sounds a little bit like Isocrid's Sorry Protocol. Yeah. Oh yeah, and it was a treat. And then, so Baron Sheep's been running a bunch of, oh no! Chrono, you got disconnected. Do I need to bounce mine? Because I might need to bounce Steam to get this up and running. Yo!
The drinks may be free, but still don't forget to tip the bartender.
Hell no, I will not. DX-Man, thank you. And on the subject of, like, bits and stuff, loads of you threw a ton of bits during the Balu Bowl, which unlocked, like, plot stuff and cool stuff. Caffeine says you might need to bounce Steam, not 100% sure, though. That's no worry. I'll do that now. Because then oh no, I have to spend more time hanging out with you lot and talking. Oh, I hate doing that. Alright, so I'm just going to bounce the lobby. Yeah, as Number said, we got thick backstory, and Little Bear is now canon. So Little Bear was the pirate queen, which I think is dope. Pun Spectre says, wish I could stay and listen, but actually have to go back to work tomorrow. Good night, Longship. Have excellent sleeps, Pun Spectre. I mean, this is the chill evening show. Gives us a nice chance to talk games industry and hang out. Then profs like, more waffles for the waffle mancy. Tickets is wait. Thick backstory. Damn it, I need to catch up! Yeah, you do. Oh, though, that does remind me, I'm actually going to do that right now. I'm just going to fecking highlight the whole of the Balu Bowl. So, publish highlights. Just while that's starting up, I can change the descriptions. Alright, save changes. Because I can change descriptions on highlights later. But now that's processing, we don't have to worry. Because it does everything feckin' Twitch side anyway, so it's not like it interrupts us playing video games together. Oh, Navalis, I'm so sorry for the spoilers. I'm so sorry. I didn't even think. I'm so sorry, friend. But yeah, I just want to say, Baron Sheep was the one that put forward that idea. Has put forward the bit threshold and sub-thresholds. I have nothing to do with that, but they end up being fecking dope, so yeah. Oh, respawn time. 25 seconds. Alright, lobby name Viking Space Blonde, password Friendos. Friendos, plural. Alright, and the lobby is back up. Let me know what you think. So yeah. This is a weirdly quiet time of year for games industry stuff. Like, this is just after the big announced season. There's a few little stuff coming out. As I said, I got to go up to Canada on the weekend. So I went up to Vancouver. I got to see Lily and Fred, which was great. I got to see my buddy who's working over on the Long Dark, which is cool. Though, to my detriment, I remembered he was in Vancouver. I forgot that he was working on the Long Dark. Or, I didn't see. The problem is, I don't know which one. So, I got to put my hand up and apologize. However, we did get to talk, like, old games industry stories and new games industry stuff. Navalis! Wato and welcome. Oh, crap. Guess who almost got us on the wrong feckin' map? This guy. There we go. Numbers was asking how was Vancouver. It was lovely. I don't think there are any Brits in chat. Maybe Get the Boat still in. Vancouver is basically, like, if Seattle is giant Brighton, then Vancouver is giant Guildford. Same kind of vibe, same kind of feel, but more city. Yeah, oh, so Helldwarf, I apologize. Yeah, so that's what Vancouver's like. Big old Brighton, big old Guildford by the sea. It was nice. It was real nice. The journey there and back was real easy and mostly consisted of ridiculous karaoke. Caffeine's asking if anyone else trying to connect is having timeout issues. I mean, Caffeine, you've been in match before. Navala said they had before. I mean, I can kick it off and we can go from there. And to Chrono, did you get disconnected? I'm sorry, Caffeine. But I tell you what, let me kick this off. and we'll go from there. Like, we're going to play a couple of matches of this, so you're not going to miss out, you know? But I do need to... Dear Zelda, I do need to pause you, because I need to be able to hear when people are shooting at me. Alright. So, Navalis, we're just going to go nose to nose to start with, and go from there. Again, the match is Viking Space Blonde, and the password is Friendos, all lowercase. Caffeine says, nah, just listen for the giggle. Ah, the haunting death giggle of Kestrel. The Hotel Scipio... Oh, almost! Almost! So the problem is it's just me and Navalis right now. Feckin' Steam. So this is going to be a little bit intense. Helldwarf says play vikinghotel.mp4. Alright, welcome to Allied Carpets. Righty. Dun 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 dun. Hey, Chrono's in! Oh, I should probably jump into Discord in a second and chat with everybody. So, who we got? We got Navalis and Chrono, if you want to... And Caffeine's in! Nice! I guess we just had to get it all up and running. So, let me jump into General. Hello, one and all!
Hello, sir.
Hi
Let me mute you and resize your windows so I'm not screen hacking. Because I'm fair like that.
Okay, so, the individuals that we have on mic, would you lovely folks like to introduce yourselves very briefly before, I want to say before the murder starts, but the murder's already begun.
Has Navalis killed you already?
No! Yes. Actually, I didn't have an end to that sentence because I thought I saw something move. So there's that.
Alright. Hi, I'm Chronofire.
Hey up, Chrono!
My name is Caffeine.
Name, temperament, and regiment. Caffeine.
And I am Novilla.
I'm gonna have to turn Navalis up a little. And Navalis got to get up to get down. And Chrono a little bit. Oh, yes, because, sorry, Chrono was still turned down from a previous adventure. Alright. So without further ado, if by some bizarre reason this is the first time you've encountered this, welcome to the Hotel Scipio. This is our own little kind of, I don't want to say custom match, but like, this is how we play Sniper Elite. 1 hour, one map.
Badly.
It's always the same map. Oh my god. Oh, feck, every duck. The Steam overlay came up and I clicked to get rid of it and let a shot off, so I'm going to go now hide in the back of a Marrakeshian shop until my heart rate calms down.
Nah.
He's in the shops, everybody.
Yeah, but which shop?
One of them?
So, welcome to Talking About Games. I'm a video game, you're on the air.
So, yeah, I mean, $2.65 billion.
What does that look like? Like, I mean, like the physicality. What does $2 billion even look like?
So you know that big pile of money the Joker burns in The Dark Knight?
That. It's that. And so what you're saying to me is if you replace the Joker from The Dark Knight with Professor Oak, then you basically have that.
Not even Professor Oak, that like weird stand-in professor they got.
Oh yes, Mr. I'm gonna grind up your Pokemon and turn them into snack foods.
Yeah, it's a little dark. I'll be honest.
Where'd this number come from?
That's
from-
the amount Pokemon Go has made over
Ooh.
since launch.
Yeah, posted in gamesindustry.biz. It's been what they have put down as their total earnings. Ow. Well, that's rude.
Okay, so how do you crouch? How do you do the things? I've forgotten.
Details. That's a tomorrow.
So Z, no, C. Press and hold C to prone. Press C to crouch.
All right, if you see someone doing jumping jacks, please don't shoot him.
If you find out how to do jumping jacks, that's very impressive. Worst gunfight ever! Thank you, Naval. Will has the new longest shot with 1 single meter.
With a trench gun.
Yeah. Now, I'm hoping that this sparks some really, really interesting discussion, because we've seen a lot of companies chasing a lot of different business models very aggressively at the moment. And
Well played, sir. Well played.
thank you. It's a bit of a team effort, that one. You were looking at someone else, and I was looking at you.
No, I was looking at you, but I was trying to get a shot over your little barricade and kind of flagged myself.
I was looking at you, but talking to him. What? See, it gets very confusing.
Who?
Yeah, that's a Faulty Towers reference.
Sounds like something I should watch.
Faulty Towers or for snipers? Because, I mean, I'd recommend one, and the other feels like a necessity, given the afternoon.
The first one, the towers thing, I've not heard of it.
Well, here's a scary thing. Everyone's asking me to be louder. I mean, I can. It's not ideal.
It's not a recommended course of action.
All right, but it will increase the amount of a background, so that's what you get.
So you want to hear something absolutely hilarious?
Always.
Yes.
Guess where it spawned me? In that little room you shot me by, Will.
How do you hold your breath?
E,
Oh,
when you're in the scope.
okay. Someone in a ghillie suit survived because I couldn't figure that out.
Oh, yay.
I mean, we don't know where caffeine is. Okay. Oh yeah, so sorry. I was kind of half butchering that point. The thing that I wanna draw a little attention to is that there are games that have been put forward as the next big thing, the next big esport, the next big moneymaker. But like, Anthem, for all of its cash, for all of its marketing spend, did not make 2 billion back. And this isn't a dig at Anthem. This isn't a BioWare bash session. I just mean that, you know, that was a, you know, Neil Blomkamp trailer project. And I think that's real interesting. Ark of the Conclave is in, says, what? Oh, Steel Ball Run? It's either a JoJo's reference or a Smokey and the Bandit reference. I think I'm okay with both.
Smokey and the JoJo?
That would be terrifying. I'd watch it.
Like a Burt Reynolds crossover.
Like I said, I'd watch it.
You thought it was Burt Reynolds, but all along it was me, Dio.
A live-action JoJo's with Burt Reynolds as Dio. Again, I'd watch it.
Right?
I wonder if he does the poses, though.
Oh, feckin' Steam overlay. I usually have that disabled, but every now and then Steam's like, hey, you know your settings? What if they weren't?
I'm starting to think Will's the only one with kills, guys. Come on.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, in my defense, as soon as he took the shot on you, I shot at him, and his recoil saved him.
Also, I'm just fecking through with the control menu.
So actually, jumping back in, so Just Die was making an interesting point. So Just Die was saying, like, $5 a month is a great price for a product that one wants to support. And it's interesting because from a, what's the term? From a intellectual standpoint, I don't think any of us have a problem with being like, hey, Warframe. I would pay Warframe $5 a month to be dope. But
Yeah.
so far, games like Warframe have had a really, really hard time maintaining subscription models, but have had a great time doing like a free-to-play system. Warframe has actively created not only a strong free-to-play operation, but a sustainable one. Because
And it's not a horrible monetization platform either,
yeah,
which cannot be understated.
I always want to support games that do monetization systems that aren't like egregious or aggressive. But then it's one of those unfortunate things, and I wish this wasn't the case, but like it's what the users decide is egregious. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's up to them what does and doesn't work. So, like World of Tanks, I really find the World of Tanks business model very intriguing. You know what I mean? But their user base seems to like it. So there must be something to it, you know what I mean? It's... Oh, I have naturally occurring John, who gave me some Cowtails American-made chewy caramel. There we go. Now it's an adventure. I'd like to say thank you to our sponsors, GameWorks, for giving Will food. Clank Crusher just goes, John! Yeah. John's in a bit of a VR hole at the moment. He's been playing a lot of like really good VR titles. So
GameWorks.
We need to have a new member in the game.
Actually, I just came in to chime in on something. So the reason why World Tanks or Wargaming's monetization strategies is they have a lot of players out in the East, and they really don't mind pay to win.
What?
Like Southeast Asia, stuff like that. So if that makes sense at all. So anyway, I said my two bad.
Ah no! Webless!
Shotgun. When your shoddy is in fact too hotty.
Yeah, and aimed at me. So sorry. So jumping it back, it's not necessarily. I mean, different regions have different opinions on what they do and don't like in terms of purchasing habits. One of the things that's always worth bearing in mind is a lot of countries that play a lot of free-to-play titles are usually countries where the average user doesn't have access to a home computer or a home console. So there tends to be a focus on LAN caps, a focus on like, LAN play, shared spaces, that kind of thing. And so that way, you're not spending money on standalone titles because you'd have to install them every time. League of Legends, World of Tanks, things like that. You buy your customization, you move between one to the other. It seems to work. So it's not, we aren't picking on the, we aren't picking specifically on that monetization model. It's more an example of when we discuss what is and isn't a good payment scheme, a good way of letting users pay for video games. Ultimately, the users are right. Like commenters, creators. Anyway, this isn't. We're going to go back to the good bits of this, which is that Pokemon Go's done great, and that makes me happy. I just mean to highlight that ultimately the most powerful thing is someone voting with their wallet. Like that's the one that unfortunately matters beyond all.
So I have a bit of a question from chat. Okay. So Just Iris says, so what about surprise mechanics is a gamble?
Okay, well, so Just I was putting forward this thing, and this has been something that I've had a discussion with people offside about. So we're in a really bad way in gaming right there is a massive, massive amount of attention in both in the US, Europe, and China are now taking a huge look at video games as an industry. And even though EA is one of the bad words most responsible for the current situation, we are facing possible government legislation on video games,
Yep.
which is terrible.
Totally.
So, I mean, the EA line of they're not loot boxes, they're surprise mechanics is awful. But right now, in the event, if they do not fight it, we will end up with like government oversight of our industry, and that is only bad for us. That's only bad for consumers, and that's only bad for game creators. Because, you know, we're already getting to a bit of a scary point where, because of the large influence that China has in the games industry, that the Chinese government censorship laws are starting to affect. You know, if China is the most affluent market, and you as a game creator need to sell your game there, then that puts you in a bit of a bind. Like, you could ignore them, but
you're cutting off your nose to spite your face at that point.
Yeah.
So, on the surprise mechanics thing, it's difficult. EA's clearly playing a shenanigans game, but they are fighting against a potentially horrible situation for us. That's my personal feels. Like, peeps like I mean, we already have organizations like the ESRB and stuff like that.
How are you two the only ones finding each other?
I mean, you blat me with a shotgun, you bad word!
Yeah,
It was after you threw a grenade at my head. I feel
mean,
justified.
I
Yes!
saw caffeine like 15 minutes ago, and that's about it.
But anyway, so jumping back into chat. So Rainier's saying if the games industry is self-regulated with teeth like the ESRB and the films industry rating systems, we would have avoided this. True, there was a real call to absolutely, absolutely hold ourselves to a higher standard itself. That's a murder in progress. That didn't happen.
Yep, I literally just ran over Chronofire.
I was
stepped on his helmet as I was running down the stairs.
Down the stairs, you say?
I was zoomed in, then I saw a bush go right by the binoculars.
Man, that's an angry-looking shrub. Wait a second.
I'm the angry, alcoholed shrub, yes.
So,
If you've never seen this game in action, by the way, friends, this is basically the most aggressive game of pixel hunt you've ever seen.
It's putting it mildly.
so on the total other end of the spectrum, if we do not self-regulate our industry, I feel like I'm part of this industry because I'm making stuff. Okay, whatever. But look what happened to comics in the early 40s and 50s.
Well, I mean, people got sent to jail for creating comics that were considered offensive. Like,
Yeah.
there's a wonderful documentary about some of the people. I believe one of them was actually based in Seattle, who got sent to jail for making a comic. Like, the discussion about whether or not we should self-regulate is unfortunately now a little bit of a moot point because we are currently in the crosshairs. Like, both European and North American politics are in a weird space right now, and games makes for a real good, easy target.
Yeah, agreed. Especially with election season coming up, so.
Yeah,
Dang you, Will. You stole my kill.
yeah. And there's
Just so you know, Will is leaving the tower. Will
What?
is leaving the tower.
no fucking rumble me, mate. So
Yeah,
just
'cause you
over-
ran away from when I was going to shoot you.
Just I was saying, I'm of the opinion there needs to be some regulation, some. If the industry can't do it, someone else should step in. You have a young man drop 40k in a mobile game and his grandpa's credit card, something needs to happen. And I don't mean my point as a counter. There has been a demonstration that there's a level of ridiculousness happening on more than a handful of titles that really needs to stop. It needs to not. The problem is that, you know, agencies like, you know, the BBFC, PEGI, the ESRB, stuff like that, they are seeking to properly, what's the term? They are seeking
Classify?
to, yes, properly classify games, not censor. So the ESRB doesn't say, oh, well, you put X in your game, so now your game can't come out. Or say, sorry, just trying to work out what that is. Government censorship's another matter entirely, and I hate that, as I said, the person who created the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak, is now the one fighting air quotes the man.
So would you say that there should be some sort of system that regulates the game industry by limiting how much someone can put into a game, money-wise, at one time?
I mean, what I would say is that certain pay methodologies be tied to certain ratings. It would be a nice chance to re-examine how we rate video games in terms of their content, and that, you know, if you are under the age of 18, you should absolutely not, you should not be able to access those free-to-play elements. You know what I'm saying?
But
I'm
how
not
do you
saying that's
verify?
the
How do you
same
verify
way.
someone's
Verification can,
Many people just say, yeah, I'm 18 on
Yes.
Steam all the time.
But that puts
So-
the opus on the individual, not on the company. And I don't mean that to sound incredibly callous. That's
makes
why
sense.
that's why Steam asks you, because if you lie, that's on you. That's not on Steam. So if you say, yeah, no, I am absolutely 18 years old and I should buy, you know, Sexy Gun Gore Violence 18, then
Wait, the 18th one finally came out?
I know, right? Imagine my surprise.
Navalis, I can't believe you went back there.
But then
After being
what
shot in the head.
happened?
Sometimes you have to go back to the future.
I mean,
Then
there's
what
only
would
so
you
many
do?
places you could hide on this map.
That's where the point-counterpoint of this comes in. Sorry, you were making a point there. I apologize.
But then what would happen if, say, you took your parents' mobile phone in mobile gaming, and they've been listed as 18, because they're over 18, and you then purchase on that when you're under 18?
So much like with, whatchamacallit. Oh. Well, Chrono, it was lovely to meet you. I'm glad I got to see you take a bullet to the heart.
I won that fight.
At what cost? At what cost? Sorry. Now,
Everything.
if it sounds like I am being overly cold-hearted or overly blasé, it's more that I do not want this decision to be made by a government agency, because government agencies don't care. The games industry doesn't make enough cash in North America and in the UK to be taken seriously at that level. And we are a really easy punching target.
Gamers, rise up.
It's the reason why I am making these claims is because then it falls. So just like with content and censorship. Ow! My face.
You were saying about me dying?
Details. So what, especially the ESRB has done here in the US, is an education campaign. So the ESRB has been educating parents on what an M-rated game is, what the content is, and why you shouldn't let your 10-year-old play GTA 5. And
Wait, you're not though? You're not supposed to?
shocking, I know.
Wait, I thought GTA 5 was the name of the babysitter.
But
I-
I'm
Of
course,
pretty
now we're in-
sure-
Oh, sorry to interrupt. Isacrid, thank you for the 100 bits. They would have been very spooky, but then death happened.
I mean, Isacrid got me earlier today looking at a very cute desert mouse dinosaur, and I damn near pissed myself.
Oh crap, I just threw a grenade at myself.
Chrono is dead.
Said everyone ever.
I was trying to get more ammo from the box and I pressed F instead of R.
But anyway, so, friendos, we're not going to go into US politics as a topic. It's more just a case of, like, government industries do not... like us or care about us or what we're doing. Also, hello. Revenge! So giving them control over what content goes into our games is something we should absolutely fight, because the thing about the surprise mechanics has a turn of phrase. Oh, Isaac Crib with 100 revenge bits. That's how I feed myself, with revenge.
I'm happy with that 226 meter shot, though.
That was a stonker.
I don't know if it's the same in America as in Britain, but a lot of parents walk in with their younger children and buy the M-rated games for them from shops, is what used to happen.
I mean, I worked retail as well, and, you know, you try and educate people as much as you can, but there's only so much you can really do.
At the end of the day, it's their kid and their family.
Most people would literally just say, shut up and let me buy the game.
Yes.
They don't really want the whole it's M-rated spiel.
But again, while retail takes the brunt, it is not the game. It's not up to the game creators in that regard. It's up to the game creators to correctly classify. So that's why Hot Coffee was such a massive deal, because that was like sexual content, and that game was not rated for sexual content. So that's what got Rockstar into so much trouble. And I don't think that's a terrible way to be. Like, if you want to put sex in your game, that's fine. Have it correctly labeled so that parents can make a proper purchasing decision. And if they choose to do the bad, that is their prerogative as parents. If they wish, if they wish to do a bad, they can do a bad.
They are adults.
But then what of the games companies who use that as free advertising? There's lots of news about the game, and it gets
the old saw that there is no such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah.
It's really, I mean, the world's a very, very different place than it was. So like, you know, the Manhunt situation where you create a game that ends up being hyped up a wazoo because it's supposedly so violent. That's a tricky one. So, do you mind?
No, I don't think they actually do. That's why they took the pot shot.
Fine, be like that, Navalis. See if I can. I didn't want to hang out here anyway. Sorry. Oh, so Just Diver...
Bill just got scared.
So Just Diver's making a good point that allows us to kind of bring it back. Because Just Diver says, alright, we're talking about two different things. Talking about content, nudity, etc. is very different than mechanics specifically designed to addict someone into giving them money. Yes. What I am saying is that, much like how we handle that kind of content, the monetization models that we put forward should be considered in a similar light. That's the best solution that I can come up with right now that doesn't require us to have oversight by a government agency. That's what I am putting forward. And yeah, and what I was coming back to was that EA's it's not a loot box, it's surprise mechanics. It might work as a discussion, which is ridiculous. We all know that that's ridiculous. But then you think about it and you're like, what does the average government agent know about video games?
That was a misclick.
Probably nothing.
Well, it depends if they're someone who does their job at the government, goes home and relaxes with the games, or does the job at the government, goes home and relaxes with the family. Because those are basically the two statics at this point.
Okay, let's bring it back in a second. What is the difference between... what defines a loot box by us as users?
Something you pay money for that gives you a random drop that may or may not be what you want.
Now, what if there is a step of disambiguation whereby you are not directly paying for the object? How is that defined? So let's take the keys and crates. And this isn't designed for me to pick holes. I'm not starting a fight or trying to bait you. I'm just... so like CSGO put forward the old, you have the key and you have the object. So the loot box you get for free, but you pay to unlock it rather than buying a random gacha. So,
I'd say that's still a loot box.
but we are both very,
How
very
you
games.
get the loot box is slightly different, but it's still a loot box. You're still paying money to get the items from that box.
My point is that we're both incredibly game literate people, but bum.
People
Oh
who
no!
are,
The revenge was
people
instant.
might not.
Shot caffeine in the
Do you
bum.
mind, Will? We were busy.
I mean, Navala's got me instead of you. But so what I'm trying to say is that the definition of the mechanics that equal a loot box are really fluffy. Even us, as very, very game literate individuals, we could argue the intellectual points back and forth of what is and isn't, right? And
At the end of
so
the day, though,
put a bunch of normos in a room and ask them to discuss it.
So, Will mentioned gacha games, okay?
Yeah.
So, how do I put this? Apparently there's a genre of games called gacha games.
Yes. They're very popular in Japanese, South Korean territories.
Yeah, so East Asia. So,
Not all East Asia. China doesn't dig it as much. They're more into the they're more into what's the term? Like buying skins and cosmetics and things like that.
okay. So, I'm actually more concerned about those, because from what I've seen from those, like, I know people who play them on Twitch, those are just pure loot boxes, at least the ones I've seen.
Yes. And so for those that don't know, so the term gacha comes from gachapon in Japanese, which is the little capsule toys where you put in like
What the
a
hell
couple
was
of
that?
yen. You put in a couple of yen and you get a random toy from the box, and they're real popular. Same as like those like blind boxes and stuff like that.
I always just assumed it meant something like got you. As in got you to spend money on useless junk.
Oh! I even
Nice
saw the
double
bullet
shot.
come in. Woof!
And yet Viking got the slightly longer shot.
But yeah, those games actually kind of concern me if they pick up here in the West. So yeah.
Steady aim. Long distance killer.
Gotcha games are very much so based around spending money to get those random items.
Yes, that's a big part of their design and their concept.
Which would then go into the whole, is that a loot box system?
Right. And so this
That
is
is
why.
surprising.
Because that's how the game functions.
Yeah, it's
So is the game itself just one big loot box system? And if so, would the whole game be banned? And that's where it gets iffy, because anyone can just stick a gotcha tag on a game and say, oh no, those games are fine. Why isn't my game fine?
or the vice versa saying of, all right, well, here is the chances of getting X within game, and here is the ways in which that can be changed. So you could make a very disambiguous and disingenuous case for why X is a gacha mechanic. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the things where, and I hope I made my point clear at the beginning, which is that I'm not arguing that we shouldn't have regulation. I'm just arguing that
We should have self-regulation.
Yes, I do not want a bunch of people who may never have had hands-on with a video game tell us what mechanics are and aren't. Video games as an industry are still growing and changing. There are kinds of video games that will exist in 5 years that we never considered.
Like VR MMORPGs.
Yes, and actually, Just Diver's making a real good point. And again, I don't want to bring this into an IRL politics discussion, but what Just Diver is putting forward is that government officials not understanding their specific industry isn't something that's specific to us. There are lots of fields in which individuals in a decision-making position do not have more than a very general dusting of knowledge in that field.
For example, in the EU, there was that whole internet kind of thing to where people were like trying to. It was the whole article.
The whole
Yeah.
banning memes.
A lot of people didn't know what was going on in the EU, in the government system, on what the internet was,
Yes.
how it regulates itself, how there are small niches and certain things. And we had community members go there and basically argue points, and they were just all ignored.
Good shot, Will.
Thank you, thank you. So
So
I
it's
don't.
not always about having someone who knows what they're talking about, because the big shots could just ignore them and pass legislation.
That's very true. That's very true. So I think we've hit upon this topic a lot. I absolutely think that we should hold these companies to a very high standard when it comes to how they implement monetization in those spheres, and that there are some people who have made a lot of money by how to phrase it well, by looking the other way when young users have been spending inordinate amounts of cash. But now we're here. Like, we should never have gone into the swamps of sorrow, but now we're into the swamps of sorrow and the horse is dying. Like, you know...
You would have to bring that up, you bastard.
We're gonna have to beat that dead horse for what's worth. I'm sorry.
Bartender, how much for a drink?
Well, Vanderbeest, thank you for the 200 cheer. We're going to the
Yeah,
Hotel
yes.
Scipio, where the drinks are free! Cue the theme music.
No, it's not.
The Hotel Scipio drinks are free!
Yeah, but
Play
they're shit.
VikingHotel.mp4.
So, yeah. But it's a very, very good, it's a very important talking point to have at the moment, because right now it's that whole thing of, like, at least within the industry, like, sensible voices are absolutely not the ones being heard. And this is one of those topics that's super nuanced. The problem I have is we get into this banter sometimes of describing one group or another as just evil. EA is evil. EA is bad. I'm not necessarily disagreeing with that sentiment, but it's that thing of, like, unfortunately there's more to it than that now.
Because it's not everyone in EA who's evil or bad or anything. There are the people who work on the games and work really hard on the games. Then there are the people who market the games.
Yeah.
People who come up with the concepts of the games. All of those people work their asses off. And then there are the people who ruin it.
Quite possibly, and it's very rare we will even find out the names of the individuals that decide. Like, there are monetization specialists they have in companies like that, and most of those individuals that I've met aren't really, again, people who play games. They research games, they take data, and by a lot of their accounts, again, if you look at, well, that's an anti-tank line, that's entirely unfair.
They say, well, this makes a lot of money, so we should go with this.
Yes, this makes tons of money, so this must be what people want.
It's like, well, no.
They are experts on the psychology of how to make money.
Yes.
Nothing more,
Basically,
nothing less. They don't.
And
They don't
it
care
ends
about
up with an enjoyable game that not as many people play because they don't want to get their wallets out for it.
I'm probably not going to win this exchange, but your mind's effect. The Hotel Scipio drinks are free!
I saw you just as you shot me.
Ding, 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 ding. Jackpot!
Oh, congratulations on the double kill.
Thank you, thank you.
Play vikinghotel.mp4.
Crackbeer.disappointment. Anyway, so let's bring it on back around, because everyone's making a lot of excellent points, and I hate that we're kind of in a hold our breath and wait and see moment. Like, EA have the money to fight this, and so this is their chance to do some good, to set some power, you know what I'm saying? Also, did I say thank you to Vanderbeest for the 200 bits? I really hope I did.
I think you did.
Okay.
Well, you did now.
Well, you have now. Yeah.
Cool. What I do like is that right now, from a monetization standpoint, there are loads of new methods coming along, which might actually take the strain off of titles needing to just nickel and dime the crud out of their user base. Now, one of the things that's being bounced around a lot is the concept of platforms that allow you to support titles in the same way you might like a streamer. So, you lot, keep me alive. Like, that's just a feckin' truism. And you do that because you throw bits at my dumb face. Some days I wonder why that happens, especially when I'm running around the map killing everybody. But, that is...
That is a mine.
No, it's mine.
It might
I'd like
be.
to pull a quote from Ready Player One.
Yeah.
We can sell up to 80% of their vision in advertising space.
Before inducing seizures.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so the one that oh, bloody hell, in a bin bag. What are you lot up to? No one died. Everything's exploding. Welcome to the... Oh! I take it back.
Didn't expect the double mine.
Always expect the double mine.
Expect the unexpected. The Spanish Inquisition have arrived.
Explosion!
Huh.
Sorry,
I
but
didn't expect...
oh, and Just Diver, thank you for filling the empty cup. I didn't even notice it was... I didn't even notice it was starving there.
Will, you know what it is.
I'm not... Wait, no, hang on. Something's wrong. That's, that should be dropping and that's not.
It was a trick all along.
That's because you named it wrong, Will.
He simply wants you to think there is an empty cup, but there is no cup.
Goes by another name.
God darn it. There we go.
There is no spoon.
There is a spoon and there's definitely a cup. Neck shot. No, sorry. So the thing I wanted to jump back onto banter-wise was that there are a lot more interesting monetization methods popping up that would allow for more direct funding means. Because a few studios have tried to do Patreon as a method for game funding.
It's worked for a few of them, like Darkest Dungeon was a big game that got crowd-funded.
Yeah.
And now Darkest Dungeon 2 is coming along, and I'm hyped for it.
Hells yeah. The thing that I've been encountering is there are a few ideas for platforms that will either pay for a developer full-time so they don't have to worry about profit loss, or that will allow users to say, hey, I really like your game. You know what? Here's an extra $10. Now, I don't know if that's something that the industry wants or if that's necessarily the best idea, but it's not trying to find more ways to sell you the same thing repeatedly, allowing users to be like, no! No!
I mean,
Oh!
I guess users would say, no, no!
God damn it. This is why I enjoy talking games industry and playing this, because it stops anyone from being too like, yes, well, in my research, blah, 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 because then
I've
gunfire
done
happens.
Little research.
Meanwhile, in America's shopfront,
But yeah, the whole you pay what you want for a game could be an interesting kind of scheme.
Well,
As
so
well
it's-
as the crowd-funded games.
so it's the idea that you say, right, my game is worth $10. Maybe it's a early access title, maybe it's a one and done. But then you can say after the fact, I will give you. I really, really enjoyed this game. This mattered to me. Here's an extra $10. There aren't many platforms that currently allow you to do that. There are some teams that have that facility in place, but like, so like, let's take the Hex for example. That's a great game, and it's like is that $8, $9?
Something in that range.
If I'm sorry, I'd like to feel bad for that, but I don't. If you
Wait,
wanted to,
you can feel bad.
far more than sometimes I think possible. Where was
In a
it?
way, back to the topic at hand.
Yeah, so I believe Doki Doki Literature Club has it. The Doki Doki's free, and there's a, like, if you want to buy this to support the game method. And Just Diver's making a good case, which is they're not enjoying the early access method because you never know if it's going to be any good or not. And if it fails to launch, if it fails to, you know, make it to release, there's no recourse on that one.
Disappointing games are never fun. And it's really hard for game devs to come back from overhyping.
Yes. It's also very easy to sell people on the idea. The dream is an easy sell.
And then poor implementation.
Yeah. There's been, I think it was, we were talking about, was it not Curse, but Crawl, that was it. That with Crawl, they wanted to implement multiplayer later on, but the actual technical challenges of putting in multiplayer was more than they could manage. And sometimes that's the case. Like, sorry, there wasn't really a strong point at the end of that. Clank's putting forward that ideas are easy and execution is hard. Absolutely. Video games these days aren't about...
That's anything.
There was
Anyone
a time...
can have an idea for a game, to actually have the knowledge on how to code that game and implement it well,
Or not even the
with
just the
minimal
coding
bugs,
knowledge,
is difficult.
the business knowledge, how to
That too.
make a budget, how to
How to successfully budget a game to where it's
Yeah.
enough.
like
of
not even
why.
budgeting for like coding and whatnot, but simply budgeting for people. Like
Staff.
It's
engine
a
expenses.
banking challenge, and it's amazing that anything gets done these days. No! Anyway,
rivalry settled.
I think what I meant to focus on is not so much that video games are impossible, but more like how you do it. That's the challenge. I always like saying that, you know, someone who creates versus someone who doesn't is always right. Because while there is a right and a wrong way to do something, if you do it, that method beats the person who does not. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, I'm getting off on... I'm so far off topic now. There was gunfire, there was explosions. So yeah, I guess...
Tried hiding behind a wooden door.
It almost worked!
Yeah, but he didn't keep going.
Details, details. Thought the trench gun got saved me. It did not. Anyway, so I think I dragged us very far off topic. What I was just putting forward was that there are new monetization methods coming that are less egregious and more potentially beneficial to developers, and that's what I'd like to see. The thing that I really need to find out is whether or not Ninja Theory's new game was an idea of theirs or an idea of Microsoft's. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if we've spoken about this before.
I mean, at the end of the day, does it even really matter? I mean, if they can still iterate on the title, on the idea, and they can still work through the game and produce a good product, does it matter that, hey, we think our metrics say this will sell well? Okay.
It was more on the Microsoft thing, it was more the case of, because you all know I'm real worried about this whole Games Pass. The whole games industry is clamoring over each other to be the one, to be the Netflix of video games. I don't know if it's going to take off because I haven't seen a strong use case for us as consumers.
Speaking of that, how do you think of the? Oh, how do you feel
I'm
about
back.
the whole
Wow,
new,
I'm still alive.
How do you feel of the
And you
whole
got a
new
kill.
PC platform war?
How did that happen?
That was the whole Xbox, PlayStation kind of thing and the console wars. Now we've got the PC platform war, and we've got exclusives that have come to it through Epic's games.
I mean,
I think it's something that sprung up from a monopoly. Steam being the only song in town has created some problems, and that
Steam has been stagnant,
Yeah.
yes, and
well, so I know
but
we spoke about this
don't
earlier in the
like
week.
how Epic's games went about it.
Oh,
They did not have to just monopolize a load of games.
they're from a business standpoint, their goal is to just give Steam a kicking. Like they're not doing anything fancy. They're here to wreck face, and they're gonna make it happen. They well know that Steam don't do PR well, and so they're smashing it in. For developers, Epic can be really, really feckin' good right now.
It is, because it gives them more of a cut than Steam.
No, there's a
currently
bunch
does.
of them. So currently, Epic's store does not have a user review section. So if you want to launch an early access title and you tell users, hey, this is an early access game, it does not contain any of these things. On Steam, what sometimes happens is people go, oh, I am going to pick up this game, and it says, it is an early access game, it is not finished, and they buy it, and they go, wait a second, this game isn't finished, negative review. And negative reviews are the worst in Steam's platform. So as
and they don't go away.
They
Yeah.
can be, but they can also be valid. To where you
It's-
have a badly made game,
True.
and it warns people off. I always like to read at least 10 reviews to kind of get a feel for a game.
The thing that we've noticed is that users who pick up a title in early access and have a bad experience with it will never revisit it, even if those issues are fixed. And more often than not, Steam reviews relate to performance, which is not... From doing compat testing in prior, I find that a lot of the technical issues that users put forward in Steam aren't always the developer's fault, and there's no differentiation. The developers have no recourse to say, yo, your PC's rammed full of spyware, and you're basically running it off a potato. Steam's got no recourse for that.
I don't know, the people who posted Twitter from microwaves are very good gamers.
Okay, but let's go back to the biz dev point of it. The biz dev point is that doesn't exist on Epic. So if you launch a game and one of your builds is busted, and you're like, oh heck, we need to fix this, and you fix it, on Epic you will not receive a series of bad reviews whilst you're patching that. So what you can do, launch early on Epic, get it all the way through to launch worthy, then bring it over to Steam and sell gangbusters.
Yeah.
And
You
what
can
this
do
should...
that, yeah, but then you have the problem with people who put broken games up, as I've said. And there's no bad review system for people to say, yeah, this game isn't good, don't buy it.
Okay,
Then
dude,
not
all I can
buy it.
tell you is what is going down industry side. Like, theoretical issues are valid, but, you know, so are game devs getting wrecked in a system that is doing them a lot of harm. Like,
We need a system that's good for both, really.
that is very true. And right now that does not exist. And it wouldn't have started to exist unless Steam had started rattling the cages, you know what I mean? Epic had started rattling the cages, because without competition there's only stagnation. Epic are doing a lot wrong, They don't handle international pricing well, and they are naive as to what it's going to mean to sell games internationally. Ah, feck! I saw you, Caffeine. I feckin' saw yous.
It's just like 83 meters. I know where Will is.
I don't like that Will's like 20% better when he's not concentrating on the game and just talking about game dev stuff.
That's because he's in the zone. He's in his happy place.
He has found the glow.
Also, Dorch's just propped their 9 months, so what? Oh, friend!
What ho?
I survived 3 mine explosions walking to that mine.
Yeah,
But
you better
if we
run,
could have a
Caffeine.
fair review system where reviews actually get kind of looked through, that could be good.
Yep. But here's the problem with that. That requires effort on the part of the consumer.
Okay. So we're going to take 2 steps back because this is, again, this is what we want to see. I mean, we're putting points left and right. We
It's
want
very
to see...
unrealistic.
It's not impossible, and
Not
healthier
impossible, but
competition is going to
unrealistic.
shake that stuff up. I mean, if you use the console examples back when, Microsoft's functionality as in terms of Xbox Live has inspired a lot of other platforms to do better, and that's real cool. Someone's having fun in GameWorks, bloody hell.
How dare they?
I know,
It's
shocking.
very true that the console wars basically pushed them to keep making better platforms. Otherwise, we could still have the Xbox 360.
3 minutes till pistol round.
3 minutes till pistol
Ooh.
round. Ah, you know what?
Indeed.
2 and a bit. Let's give it a full chunky minute.
But then we don't really know what that's going to bring to PC with this new kind of platform war.
I love Steam. Valve's always been good to me, but they are the single biggest digital distribution platform in the world, and they are still behaving like a bunch of like a hippie tech startup situation.
Yeah.
And when you
don't
reach that level of success, you need to own that. You don't get to pretend like you're a bunch of like... Ah! No! Fuck!
And that
I
was me
pers-
after dropping.
I personally liked all the bugs that they had in the summer sale game.
Oh, fuck yeah. The summer sale... I think, okay.
They rushed that and it was poorly made. A lot of people could just do easy things. Like half a round of a game would equal a few minutes of work in a different game points wise. It was just stupid.
Well, I mean, so the thing that really hit everybody was that wish lists on Steam are one of the strong parts of the algorithm.
Oh, and
so
that was really broken to where they did not know. A lot of people didn't know how that was set up, yeah.
And if there's a small internal team working on that idea, and they're just putting forward wouldn't it be cool if we gave people free games on their wish list? I highly doubt that the person who would have been able to say, hey, that's a really bad idea and here's why, wasn't included part of that discussion, because when it's a flat structure, you want as few people involved as possible. Every person who's involved is one more person who can say, yeah, but what if no? And now, I'm obviously biased because I hate flat structure environments. I've worked in them, they've only ever caused me pain and misery.
So what is a flat structure for those who don't know?
Oh yes, good
Myself
point.
included.
So a flat structure environment means that there is no hierarchy. You do not have a manager, you do not have a boss. You are not beholden to anyone for your performance, and you do not answer to anybody.
That sounds like a
However,
bad idea.
There is group
That
reviews.
sounds like a terrible idea.
Well, for people who
Yeah.
came from environments like Microsoft, who came from environments like, PlayStation and stuff like that, imagine you're working in an environment where... Oh, pistols in the middle! Shite! Here's me.
Oh, shite.
Pistols!
Pistols in the middle.
Pistols in the middle! So yeah, it's the idea that you are not beholden to other people, and if you've come from like Microsoft or a big dev or something like that, that could be really liberating. Like, no longer having to have 3 meetings just to decide the color of the bloody pens.
It should be blue.
But at the same time, with those structured environments, you have directive.
No one wants to be there. Ow! Grown up!
We all know the pens should be blue.
Oh, blue pen's my ass!
We don't need 3 meetings for that.
So, taking 2 steps back, so Varials, who...
Damn.
Varials, if we haven't met before, what? Oh, and welcome! We are chatting video games, come join us. Not even starting a pen argument.
No,
so-
the pen should be Coyote. Khaki is so last century.
All right, I got all 3 of you in pistols. I'm happy enough.
Well done.
Ting, 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 jackpot!
Vanderbeest, you've been chrono-fired.
And friendos, we're going to play another round of this in a second. So if you want to join us for some Sniper Elite 3, you are all cordially invited. So, jumping it back, for those who don't know, this Steam sale, by the way, Corgi won, go Team Corgi. The mechanic was
Says the 3 corgis in a trench coat.
Game respects game. The quirk they had for this Steam sale was that if your team was winning, there was a chance for you to win your win games from your wish list. That sounds great, right? Give free games to your users for taking part in a sale. Boom, that's smart. Problem is, what users ended up doing was blitzing all of their Steam wish list and only adding very expensive AAA games. But Steam's algorithm places wish lists and follows super high in terms of whether or not it gets shown to other users. So basically, indie games, their wish lists just went down, which
Indie games fell off a lot.
Oh, hardcore.
which means they don't show up in searches. They don't show up on the Steam front page, and that's really, really bad.
And a lot of people are gonna forget to wish list a lot of games.
I for one use my wish list as a reminder of games that have something interesting or are worthwhile. So
I have one question. Have you heard of anyone actually getting a free game? Because everyone I know is on Team Corgi, and none of them have mentioned that getting
As
a free
someone
game.
on Team Corgi and all my friends who are on Team Corgi, none of us got free games.
I can also
Yeah.
confirm I did not get a free title from that. So good work.
Good work,
I'm
Steve.
gonna say at least less than 10%.
Now, I guess the things that I want to highlight. Also, Just Diver. Oh, who was the other one that filled up the pint glass while I was doing a snipe? Just Diver, thank you for throwing in some more bits, yo. Agon Anarchy, there's a name. What?
Van the Beast added the show love.
Thank you for keeping track. Vanderbeest, what? So Varial says that they have an indie game on Steam. Their numbers are quite low already, but yikes, had a lot of removals. I'm so sorry to hear that. Also, Varials, have we chatted before? Am I going completely blank? And if we haven't, please let me know the name of your game. If I can support it, I absolutely will. Like, if we haven't spoke, hi, my name's Will. I worked in the games industry for 10 years. I want indie games to sell good. That's my jam. Number says, I totally missed Generation Zero has been released. Are you planning to play any more? Probably not for a long time. It unfortunately ended up being very, very bad.
How far did you end up getting in it?
Oh, I got the Barrett rifle. Like, I got it across the entire feckin' map. I went
Oh,
on,
wow.
yeah, and oh, Varials. So Varials did actually send me a copy of their Steam game, if it's the person I'm thinking of. So yes, but yeah, it's this kind of environment whereby Steam are always the first ones to say we're the biggest platform, but then they're also the first to say, but we're a small team, and
Yeah.
oh yeah, let me just quickly grab Varial's game title real quick for everybody if they want to give it a check out. Biakuas. The voices were pretty good. that's it. So this is Varial's game. And no offense, I can't speak to it directly. I haven't experienced it. But if you want to give it a look, it's an indie friendo who hangs out in the longship. So, yo. Anyway. Oh, we got Stooge joining us as well. Lovely, lovely. I'm going to just kick it off, and we'll just keep murdering each other. If you want to join, as Helldwarf said, the game name is Viking Blonde.
Can you wait 1 second? Oh,
No.
shit.
Oh, you can
doing it
join after we
live.
start.
I was customizing my gun.
Oh. Oh, I'm sorry,
I hope
dude.
it's stuck. I'll be able to tell rather instantly whether or not my scope is gold or not.
Oh, you got that one unlocked. Nice.
Also,
No, I
Alright.
just chose a new weapon and I wanted to put a brass scope on it. And I did, apparently. I'm good.
But it's what cost?
Everything.
Not generally what it, not generally the way it goes.
You are very quiet, Stooge.
Oh. Huh. I don't know why. I will have to fix that when I die.
Wow, someone's getting tagged already. Dang.
Surprisingly not me.
Okie dokie.
The void reigns
Ooh.
upon her heart.
Caffeine.
The first shot has been fired.
Stooge, you should have known by now. The drinks there suck.
I know, but that's where it put me.
But they are free.
They are free, but that's because they're horrible.
Don't forget to tip the bartender.
Tip him over the edge.
You're being kind today, Will.
That's been known to happen.
I just realized it's 5 a.m. so I should probably go to sleep.
Well,
It's a good plan, honestly.
then no worry. Thank you for coming and
I'm
playing and chatting a little bit of nonsense with us and hanging out, because I fucking love this game.
Indeed.
What?
Have a good day. Or mine. Night, morning,
Night, day
afternoon.
thing.
Time travel is weird!
Whatever time of day it happens.
Stop that incessant clicking.
Also, Lily Longbean's on a feckin' spree. And
Thank
just
you.
gifted a sub to Helldwarf, which is feckin' cool. And some anonymous mother hubbard gifted one to Varials as well. Feckin' yeah! Thank you kindly, friends. Thank you kindly. It still blows my mind that we are holding at 300 friendos. And we seem to dance between like 3 and 350, which is redonkulous.
A little bit.
Just a feckin' little.
I feel somewhat bad because this is such the
Stop that
second
incessant
month I've had a
clicking.
gifted sub.
Oh, sorry, what was that?
I feel somewhat bad because this is the second month I've had a gifted sub.
Don't worry,
Hey,
we
not-
hunt
you're
the
not-
unsub. It's
Yeah.
not like you didn't ask for this.
It's a pastime.
Yep. No, the chat believes in chat and subscriber on the chat.
One of us.
Or
One of me?
no,
Love me.
or a part of us, but you or he is singular.
You will
Become
join
as
the collective.
gods.
You get the me and turn the M upside down,
You shall be a
and you get ooh.
What we have seen is that there have been peeps who have been kind of chilling and illing with us while they've been hunting for work and have been out of stuff, and like because of House Carl, they've been able to have like a sub and things, and then they end up getting a cool job, and then they're like, all right, now I'm part of.
87.7 meters. There's only one place Will can get a shot off like that.
He's in the
Will's in
middle.
the tower. Will's in the tower.
No. No.
Maybe not for
Maybe.
long.
As well just skydives from the tower. They'll never take me alive.
We'll find out if he bounces.
There is no fall damage in this game.
Let's see.
Said Will, lying.
And 87 meters. That means Stooge was in the white sniper's perch.
There's
over
quite a
by
few of
the-
those, actually.
Oh, the one over by the rug shop.
The official name is Allied Carpets. Thank you kindly.
I'm sorry, Allied Carpets. My apologies, here, Will.
What is the name of the small room with one window?
Death room of murder spree.
Death room.
Death room. Okay.
Death room of murder spree. That's
Because
just
I always thought that
the
was
name.
Allied Carpets for some reason, just because it's one room full of carpets with a window in it. But it didn't look like a shop, so I was confused. I'll have to figure out where Allied Carpets is.
Damn it. Well, that's not going to work. So, how are the drinks in the Hotel Scipio?
They're free.
Hey, I mean,
How's the wind on the tower?
What tower?
okay, so I just want to jump
The
into
one in the
chat
middle.
for a second, because a load of people have been like, they have been gifted multiple subs. Some peeps have been like lurking and have gotten a couple. We have a fecking good crowd here, and I'm exceptionally lucky for that, so thank you all, alright? And we get to keep doing it because for some reason you all decided to keep me around. I don't know why.
I've been trying to do Twitch Prime since the beginning, and then got gift sub twice in the small periods before I clicked Twitch Prime.
How's Carl don't mess around?
Yeah,
No, they don't.
they do not. I didn't realize I was unsubbed, and then bam.
They
Jesus.
pounce.
Whoever's at the Hotel Scipio must have had one of the free drinks. They just booked it out of there like nobody's business.
Oh god!
They're headed for the bathroom too.
Dysentery, I'll do that to you. No, I don't want to turn this into too much of a feels jam, but like, yo, thank you.
What? What's that, Will? Turn into a Feels jam?
No,
You heard him, guys.
No! I did not say that. Stooge,
Did
you...
someone say popcorn?
No! I'm going to develop a complex
That was
over
ridiculous,
so
by
many...
the way.
Wow!
That was fantastic. It took, like we said, we were planning that for like since the beginning, since the 50K they dropped the 50,000 subs.
I'm so glad I had no idea what you guys were talking about when you mentioned popcorn all the time. It was so confusing.
Imagine my
But it
surprise!
didn't make me want popcorn.
Straker's just laughing in chat. I can hear that laugh. I can bloody hear it from here. I mean, we were talking about, like, stuff and things earlier. Like, the fact that it is... Who was that? Dash!
That.
Dash, we were
Oh,
just
wow.
hanging out! I got to visit Dash along with a bunch of other people up in Vancouver, and it was fucking cool.
Your cup just exploded. You might need a bigger one.
So, Dashkill, thank you kindly. Aaron, thank you for throwing in. Like... We had Joe Cat on the show today. That was fucking dope. This is... We get to do a lot of cool stuff around here.
Also, the game was pretty cool too.
From time to time. Oh yeah, do you mean Angel's Fall first?
Yes.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was dope. Oh, fuck you! Get a fucking shotgun. Dashkill, I'm blaming you for this one! Living in Scottish!
That was close enough that I heard the silenced pistol, so I'm worried.
Which
wait,
means both ET3 Huge and Chronofire are in the central tower.
Nope.
So Dash, thank you for the 1,000 cheer. That's $10 to keep.
Is that
this
where Will
going.
was?
Oh, we've
Which
got a ghost hanging
means
out.
that means that Chronofire's at the Allied Carpets, or the
Is this where Allied Carpets is?
or Axis basket weaving, one of the two.
There is a ghost hanging out in the chat.
There is a spooky
There's
ghost.
always a spooky ghost.
Okay, I guess this could be basket weaving, and there's baskets everywhere. I'm leaving now, but
I
I need
may
to learn the lingo so when people give me hints, I actually know what they're saying.
I may or may not have slowly been figuring out distances between all the major
Dang it, Chrono!
points.
Yeah, that was a short distance.
I've had a 0-meter shot before.
I
What,
think it was
you
against
just-
me, so
You just kind
Yeah.
of get in their face and go, hello.
he places the gun directly in the back of my head and then shoots.
Yeah, no, that's what I do because I suck at the sniping aspect of it, so I run around with a pistol.
So in Sniper Elite, you shotgunned through the back of the head.
No, I pistol.
Pistol whip?
It might as
Pistol
well.
nay-nay.
I would just like to say, Will is drinking shit drinks.
And he's running to the bathroom now, I guess.
Rumbled. Well, caffeine's
you
above
got
the caffeine's
Mark
above the tiny room. In your face.
I was wondering how long it takes somebody to spot me.
Oh, I was looking at you.
I know, that's why I rumbled
Dang
it.
it! I did it again.
I saw the explosion.
I tried to climb a ladder.
Ladders are unsafe. Never trust the ladders.
Somebody needs to
Yeah.
smoke.
If you climb a ladder right up to the top, you'll trigger the mine and take no damage.
So Agananaki's asking me to have an intervention at the cannon. I'll be fine. Just gonna ease off the Hotel Scipio drinks, you know what I'm saying?
They are shit.
They are pretty bad.
But they are free.
I mean, free's good. Tal's currently drinking at the on Jagex's dime at the moment, so
Free is only good if you survive the drinking.
yeah. And Jagex, FYI, the Jagex crew can drink like demons. Just as if you end up at a games industry event with them, they don't feck around.
Be warned.
They like the alcohol, like they like their drinks.
So caffeine. If Hotel Scipio is 12 o'clock, Allied Carpets would be
11.
10 or 11.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
And
right.
from that, you can triangulate his position.
So I'm gonna take a
Well,
little
no, I
moment
can
just to be like.
triangulate where Allied Carpets is.
On Saturday, we went from Memnol to Canada, and then Sunday hung out with Dash and some other peeps. You're welcome.
You are not Maui.
What can I say except you're dead now?
So Will is
amount-
heading around to the entry control checkpoint.
The amount of people I hung out with this weekend who had long ship hoodies is feckin' dope. And that was something that feckin' Nivalis designed. Makes me stupid happy. Arrow Griffin's done a Memnol mech design, which I don't know if you've all seen that. Like, we've got so much cool stuff happening, like, all the time.
That's
When
right, you
did-
can't jump in this game.
When
Which
did
is
that
weird.
all happen? Like, when did we get so many cool people? Also, Lev Dev, what? Oh, friend!
Caffeine. Why would you want to jump as a sniper?
So
Get
that
over
they
railings?
miss your head.
You can press space to clamber over railings.
But they
Yes,
miss
but
your
only
head.
railings that the game decides.
Well, yes, they have to be chest high.
Yo, we've been playing this game for years. Oh,
Gear
feck!
standard.
Yeah, Lev Dev, we're
It
playing a
came
bit
from
of Sniper Elite.
behind!
We're playing a little bit of Sniper Elite 3 multiplayer. You're welcome to join us. We're chatting a little game dev, a little long ship. And as Heldwarf has posted, there are the details if you would care to join us.
Got
Thank
it
you
on
very
copy
kindly,
paste.
Hellborg.
Dash is currently winning with a Beyblade style bit drop.
The first time I've gotten a headshot and a lung shot in the same bullet.
Ooh, that's up the bum. That shot, that's a bum shot.
I spawned, I walked out the door, I blew up.
I live, I die, I live again.
Have you tried looking for traps?
Yeah, it
Just back into a few
I have
of
the
them.
problem of I look for traps, I see trap, and I'm like, my brain instantly says, "Nah, I'm good," and then I die.
You might want to spec in more low rogue levels then.
No,
Also-
the problem is I spec'd out as a demolitionist first,
your
and
wisdom
now
stat?
it's screwing with me. Low enough I raised my right hand.
Oh no.
They already have him.
I mean, Stooge raised his right hand and then jumped in the water.
Is he Navy?
Right.
Yes.
Not only that, but I was
Benny VC, yes.
Exploding, killing,
State.
murder.
Because counting.
Explode kills
Oh,
you.
Dash, you feckin' ledge. Dash dropped. Dash dropped an extra 234. So his
Just so-
grand total is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You feckin' legend. Thank
Now you got to see if you can get a 6 on there.
I am not encouraging that.
You just add ones across the board, right?
I think so.
Yeah, just
Although,
6
don't trust me
ones.
on math.
Yeah, it is a little pricey. I think in order to buy that many bits, it comes out to be something like 1,200 USD.
Wait, what?
I don't think Will was in the tower, but I think he's in one of the middle complexes.
$1,232.
Yep.
$108 for every 25,000.
Oh, did you know that off by heart?
When you have to spend that much money buying 100,000 bits so you can make a numpty cry, yeah.
Makes sense.
You tend to focus on your budgeting at that point.
What, Will?
Nothing.
Oh, you can't afford to count right now, says Fire Striker.
Yeah, because when you count, you want to do things.
The reason that I don't bring this up very often is because I don't want people to feel like I'm fishing or that I'm pulling any shenanigans.
No, that's why we're bringing it up.
Bastards.
Mm-hmm.
We're fishing free.
We're wingmanning.
That's not how that works.
You sure?
Wait, it isn't?
Got the
Shit.
wings and everything.
I'm so glad we
mean-
got to keep the wings.
Yeah, the wing and friendos do look pretty cool.
A friend will just become a beautiful butterfly.
Now all we need is our 3-part boat.
One day, one day. I mean, it's like I was saying, like, the only reason I want to get this to set up to partner is so we get feckin' transcodes, because that way I can broadcast at, like, a higher bit rate. Well, I can broadcast at a higher quality level and not, like, annihilate poor Beadora's internet plans and stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So everyone's gone quiet. I wonder what could be happening.
it's just like, where are the pixels? We must hunt the pixels.
It is the
Where's
most
Waldo?
angry
highest
version
scale.
of Where's Waldo.
Where's Waldo if Waldo
Somebody got
wants
pinged.
to blow your head off with a shotgun?
Everyone grabs and rifle.
There's a low pling. So somebody spotted somebody running on the ground. Interesting.
You're getting way too good at this.
I'm not good at this. Look where I am on the standings. I just have a brain for figuring out where these things are.
You've got an analytical mind.
Much to my dismay on multiple occasions.
Yeah.
Just jump quickly answering Ag and Anarchy's one yet. So the only reason we haven't made partners so far is Twitch does have a formalized system now, and it's concurrent viewers. So, you know, I'm working on some ideas. I'm trying to bring more peeps in. At the moment, doing a break during the middle of the day is both good and terrible.
We've
So,
got 31 people watching. How many do we need?
75.
I'm just gonna create a few accounts real quick.
I absolutely do not condone that, because that would be breaking Twitch terms of service. But
On the flip side, you can't stop him.
I physically can't.
You physically could, but it would involve coming down to southwest England.
That's a lot of effort. And just coming up
It
being
is.
like, coming all the way over there just to be like,
And it's not
No.
like he'd complain about that either.
yeah, seeing Tal and Christian and even Steel Fox is down at Brighton the moment for Brighton Develop, and I'm like, oh, I miss everybody, and it's really cool.
Which mine was that?
I love that Will can do a Wilhelm screen, which makes it a Wilhelm screen.
I take
Yes, he will.
1d4 psychic damage for that line. But again, friendos, if you want to join us, the banter is fresh. There's 40 minutes left on this match. 4-0.
Well, 39 minutes left on this match, and then a minute on the pistol match at the end.
Yes, good point, good point. And as Heldrup saying, the game name is Viking Blonde. The password is Friendos, plural of Friendo.
And lowercase, because we don't
yes.
stand on ceremony here.
And it's, see, again, it's not on any of you friendos to make this happen, you know? You all throw bits at my face, and I take this seriously. It's my job to make the longship work. So...
How the bit bruises healing up, by the way?
No.
Slowly.
How do you... Yeah.
The anonymous ghost is applying steady pressure. He's going to be fine.
Apply pressure to the wound via ghost. Alright. Anyway, so I'm gonna move it off because one, like I said, it's not on you lot, and thing is, you already keep this thing running. We don't need partner to survive. We need partner for, like, you know, making it easier and better for, like, the Adora to watch, and so we can have our tiny longbow and stuff like that. Well, our 3-point longbow. But if but we've been doing this for 9 bloody months, and it's working. Like, how many peeps do we know that can say that? So, we got a bloody good crew.
Indeed.
Of course, that bloody good crew is getting really good at hiding in this game.
Aaron
Also-
says, but will do a William Wilhelm scream.
Yeah, you better run!
Yeah.
I had brown trousers.
This game is a lot more
Will
difficult
do
when
a
you don't have time to
William
throw on
Wilhelm scream.
Aaron
mines
is
and booby traps and
also
whatnot.
succeeding in doing additional damage. Ticket 2's got to go get things done. This afternoon was cool. Thank you kindly. And Aaron, thank you for the tiny bits, friend. Because they do all add up. Yeah, now everyone's going a little bit quiet.
2-bit, 3-bit, 4, 5-bit, 6-bit, 7-bit, more. Hearing the audio back on stream, you just sounded exactly like me in your laugh. How do you do that, good sir?
It's a gift. It's a special gift.
Right up there with the bad Glaswegian accents.
That took practice. I was actually checking about this on the weekend. Like, doing accents is a weird one. I don't know how many people do the same thing, but to do like a faux accent, I have like an anchor line. And I know people who are good at accents have a similar thing. And it's like one line of dialogue that you say that can get your voice into an accent, which is very useful.
That's an interesting idea.
So, you know, when I do the terrible London, I always start with doop-de-doo, apples and pears. My name's Bloke from London. It's a kaleidoscope in it.
Okay.
That would explain why I hear about the kaleidoscopes often.
That's from GTA London, and I will not apologise for that.
But that seems to be a very good way for people remembering a lot of different character voices as well, not just accents.
Yeah. Because it can be real easy to lapse from one into t'other.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Someone on YouTube who did voice acting was basically saying how they had that sort of system to where they'd listen to a certain song, or a phrase that they'd have to get into a certain character.
Yeah. Also, LevDev, thank you kindly for the 100 bits. Yeah, there's some really, really good interviews with like a lot of the classic like Looney Tunes and Animaniacs voice actors about how they do it, and it's fucking fascinating stuff. I wouldn't recommend anyone do it as a profession, but as a hobby, voice acting is great. As a profession, it's very much don't quit your day job.
I mean, maybe quit the night job? Silence as everyone plays aggressive Where's Waldo.
Yup. The world's fightiest
Wait,
game
we're supposed to
of
be playing Where's Waldo? I'm trying to play Duck Hunt over here.
Carmen San Diego. Guess where I am?
See, I'd commentate it, but it would be from Will's point of view, and I feel like that would give away way too many things.
You think? It's bad enough with caffeine being like, okay, well, according to the distance of that smoke and the direction of the sun and the the moon. I can ascertain that the will is in fact exactly in this grid reference. And I'm like, cool, thanks, great.
Cool, thanks. Leaving that place now. Bye.
I'll be honest, Will. A lot of that was me sitting on top of the little white building, watching you do it all.
But it does help with the psychological warfare.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
I watched that happen in real time, Chrono. I'm sorry.
I figured you did. I was just trying to run up there, shoot somebody, and run away.
But they were
Ooh, that means
already
someone's there.
somewhere else.
Well, I was expecting someone to be on the roof, but I forgot
Well,
about mines.
You found something on
Shot
the
was
roof.
coming from
didn't
inside the
make it to the
house.
I was on the steps below the roof.
Your death was on the way to the roof, and therefore you could say that your grave is at the roof, as the bomb blew you to the roof and higher.
I see someone was watching. Because that is exactly what happened. And you wouldn't know that unless you were nearby. Will, you should probably run.
That's fine.
For the first hour we were talking about video games, and for the last half hour we've just been talking about Sniper Elite 3 shenanigans.
I saw the flash. It's like, ah, shit.
I mean, so
Let's
games
build
history stuff this
Celebrate.
week. It's nice to see G2A getting dragged over the coals. I'm not saying that we as a community should revel in other people's suffering. That's not the kind of friendos we are. But, like, G2A have had so many chances to do the good, and are continuing to not only do the bad to the games industry, but to their own people. And I'm like, it's real hard to feel bad for them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of companies throw things under the bus.
Oh god, yeah.
For instance, there are companies that will throw other companies that are their subsidiaries under the bus if it helps them.
Oh hells yeah.
Such as EA getting a load of their subsidiaries closed down and things over the years.
Well, the thing we were talking about earlier today was that ridiculousness of them. Hey! Hey! Bear with me a second, friends. Because, one, Isocrid threw another shot saying, you thought it was caffeine. But along it was me! Dio! And then the Viking Beard, what? Oh, and welcome. And friendos, if you haven't thrown the Viking Beard follow, dude's got an axe. Dude's got an axe. I don't actually have an axe at work because that would get into questionable territory. And yeah, so Viking Beard, this is one of our weird little games we play. We play this one specific map in Sniper Elite 3 all the bloody time. You're welcome. So,
Anyway, so what you're saying, Will, is that he's more Viking than you.
I'm saying that he can chop a huge piece of wood with an axe at work. I can't.
Not all Vikings have axes. Some have longbows, others have shields and longswords.
Technically, I have a mystical sword.
I thought you had a mystical shoe.
No,
And
the
some are just blonde.
The sword is called my shoe because I
Oh,
will
I thought
take
it was
my
a
shoe off.
shoe that turned into a sword.
No, that's just the name of the sword is my shoe.
Aha.
I will take my shoe and beat someone to death with it.
You just have someone in Valhalla. It's like, yeah, I got beaten to death with a shoe. It's like, wait, so why are you up here? It was a sword called the shoe. It wasn't an actual shoe.
A Viking Beard saying, I have all of that on the wall. Spare the bow. I mean, not everyone has to be a ranged character.
Got the sword, got the shield, got the axe, but where's the bow?
Yeah, but then there's people like, what was his first name? Something Churchill. I think it was John.
Ah, fake.
Crazy mad Churchill with.
I'll be honest, I was working on you, Will, and then I saw Stooch at the corner of my eye. It's like, nope.
The longbow and the
You
great
chose
sword
you
wielding
chose the right
Churchill.
shot.
While carrying
I mean,
back.
that one.
Oh no,
Yes.
I made sure to shotgun Stooge before I went after you.
So
Crazy mad Churchill is basically the epitome of we're British and we want you to know.
Yes, and my favorite thing though was that in World War II he got the last confirmed kill with a longbow
Well, on a human.
on a human.
People still do use longbows to go hunting.
Well, yes, but
Just
the
not manhunting anymore.
The last military. So.
I still love that there was a bear officially in one of the armies in World War II.
Okie dokie. So bringing it back on topic, Arden, like a lot of people, has known that G2A is the bad for a long time. I mean, and they first heard about them being the bad word from TB, who...
Yeah.
I don't know G2A.
I never touched G2A with a 10-foot pole.
So G2A...
That pole had to be at least 11 feet.
G2A, in theory, isn't evil. G2A is a key reselling site. So let's say you buy a Spotify subscription or a Steam key. Well, you buy a physical Steam key for a game, and then it turns out someone gifts it to you or you own it. G2A allows you to sell that to another user somewhere in the world, and so that's not bad. Like, you know, being able to take that key that you accidentally bought that you don't need and sell it to someone else. Well, that's real cool. The problem is that they are very much a what's the term? Essentially money laundering operation.
Hands off.
People buy stolen credit cards on the internet, buy a crap load of illegal stuff, sell it on there, and then even if the credit cards get charged back, they don't have to worry.
Yeah, it's not theirs.
Because they've already made the sale.
Oh. Huh.
I thought you sold the things to G2A, and then they sold them.
G2A are also very hands-off.
G2A take a cut. That's where they make their cash.
Oh, okay.
I've just found bubble wrap.
So you
Oh, Tasty, welcome back.
Advice.
Right. Anyway.
It'll
So, yeah,
hush you
if
to
you
silence.
if you aren't aware of G2A, it's enough to know that their business practice has come under fire several times because people have acquired stolen keys and sold them on there. Game developers have several times. Do you mind? Several times, game developers have gone to G2A and been like, "Look, we know these keys are stolen. Can you please take them
Damn it,
down?"
Stooge. I was working on that numpty.
And G2A have been like, "Lol, no." They've been called out several times. It's been brought up, and they've still kind of persisted. Recently, they were rumbled trying to do a paid promotion to support G2A and promote its new, like, less shady image by doing a paid promotion in which you didn't say it was a paid promotion, which that totally sounds legit. Not at all shady, no.
No, not at all.
No. Now,
I'm pretty sure most advertisements must be labeled as advertisements, otherwise it's illegal.
yes, that is
At
absolutely
least in the UK.
and in the US as well. That would be absolutely against the FCC's regulations. Like, if someone pays me to cover a video game on this stream, I'm legally obliged to inform you all. Like, GameWorks has not paid me to be here, but I still have it very clearly stated down in the doobly-doo what the situation is in this space.
Yeah, they feed you, you play games there, it's a win-win situation.
It is, but...
You got a little bit of advertising up on the wall.
Yeah. But the fact that I'm not part of a paid promotion in this space is something that I make people aware of. And if I am given a Steam key for free, then I make people aware. If I am paid to cover a game, I absolutely must let you all know.
At that point, you legally have to let people know.
Yeah, so G2A paying content creators or press to cover it, and as part of the contract saying, don't tell people we're paying you, that's very, very bad. What they have done since it leaked is blamed the individual who sent it out and thrown them right under the bus.
Which is just not nice.
So...
I mean, that could be the situation where that individual thought, hey, I could make some extra money for G2A.
Yeah, very,
But it's
very
unlikely.
doubtful.
Yeah.
Like, the level of doubt on
I
that
like my
is-
employer a little bit, but not that much. How? Where?
Hey now,
He must be in the
hey
tower.
now.
And he shuts up.
I mean, there are other less.
I
than
was
100
laying down on the middle path.
Look how this whole game revolves around Rumble Will for doing the bad.
You shot me!
No, it revolves around Rumble Will for being Will.
Right, where are
He's not wrong.
It's not my fault I keep winning.
I'm sitting here looking at my corpse just laying there in a puddle of blood.
All I ever do is win, win, win.
He must be related to Charlie Sheen.
That is entirely false. That is entirely false.
That's what Will wants you to believe.
Okay, Charlie Sheen is a very bad man, so...
Sorry.
And you're a Viking. Coincidence? I think not.
Dang it, Will!
So you know where he's at.
Yep. Yeah.
It's kind of one of the soft rules of this. You don't rumble the person who just killed you.
Okay.
How about soft rule? I just, Okay, let's be fair. The last, like, 2-3 times we played this, not even this day, I have rocked this one. So jumping back in. So Viking Beard says, so if someone gifts a game on, say, Steam, it has to be disclosed. This is where it gets a little bit fuzzy. If your mate gives you a game on Steam, you don't have to disclose on stream that it's a gifted game. If a games company gives you a game specifically, you should disclose it. If they pay you, you absolutely have to. That's the hard and fast. And I'm not saying that because I think that Viking Beard doesn't know. I'm saying that for the crowd. You know what I mean?
And because it's the law. You've
Yes.
got to lay down the law.
I am the law.
Everyone knows that the Vikings were a very law-centric people.
Yeah, they followed their laws to a T. They just didn't give a
Indeed.
crap about anybody else's.
And that's all you have to do with the law.
Yeah.
Just remember, lawful good doesn't mean that you obey the law, it just means that you obey a law.
Your law.
That's one way.
And my law is that I have to kill everything.
I mean, technically,
If you're not
a
in game,
paladin-
you ain't doing heck.
technically, if you're a paladin following a lawfully evil god, you still show up on detect alignment as lawful good.
I still think you should be able to command skeleton when there's a skeleton in a person. Just saying. Just saying.
Well, no.
The power very clearly says command a skeleton.
Well, if that's the case, well, you have to do it in your Skeletor voice.
Well, there is an asterisk, and it says that is not attached to a living being.
I think I'd house rule that. Make necromancers a little bit more powerful.
Certainly a lot more fun.
Bloodbenders, basically?
Well, they'd
Well,
have to
if
make
you
a
think
save
about
to
it.
counter it, but I think that'd
What
be.
was that?
Your scalp is mine!
Curses! The teeny tiniest of scalps!
If you think
It
about
really
it,
was a
the
pixel hunt, dude.
skeleton just holds you up. It's
Remember-
the muscles that move you. So controlling the skeleton just means that you can just make them flop down and then that's it.
Always remember this. You are a bundle of electrons piloting a bone mech wrapped in meat armor.
Hells yeah. And that's why we have our human maintenance.
The brain is a fickle
Right.
thing. It named itself, which is a very vain thing indeed.
Wow.
Right
That
up
was-
the butt.
That was some CUC nonsense right there.
I did not see you.
I was just laying down. I was. You walked right in front of me and laid down, presented yourself.
I mean, fair enough at that point.
Well,
The thing I find funniest is the brain doesn't actually know what it is.
Alright, bringing it back onto at very least video games. I will say that
Surgeon Simulator is a video game.
whoa, actually, so Boss is going on a big hiring drive at the moment.
How can you prove
But
that life isn't a game and we're just stuck inside a simulation?
Because
I
we never
will-
left Soma.
we never left Soma. Right. So if you want some interesting news, Boss is on a massive hiring spree right now. and are cancelling Worlds Adrift. What does that tell you?
Interesting.
All right.
That tells me new IP.
Theories on a card. Theories on a card.
New IP, 2 to 1 odds.
2-1 odds. New IP. Do I hear better? Do I hear offers?
New IP for.
Well, that's the
Pretty much,
question.
if you're canceling your current IP and bringing on pretty much everybody and their brother,
Because usually cancelling a game does not mean hiring lots and lots of new people.
It means just the opposite.
or also 2 to 1 odds, they just got
They just
brought
won the
on
lottery.
as essentially a farm team, and they're working on a guaranteed IP with a guaranteed paycheck.
Possible, possible.
Like I said, also 2 to 1 odds.
That's how it goes.
I may have just got scared by a leaf on the wind.
We've all fucking been there.
If there's a leaf in the wind, you know you have to shoot it. Go on, discharge that loud rifle.
It's getting tense now.
Doo-dum,
What is it?
doo-dum.
Dum 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 dum.
My shotgun says
Dun-dum,
no sneak ups.
dun-dum,
All right.
dun-dum,
I know someone
dun-dum.
doesn't kill me. It's so bad.
Dum 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 dum.
Oh, wait, some of us are trying to play this. It's 18 minutes and it's down to the wire. Kathy and I are
17.
literally tied for school.
You've got the 1 minute pistol round.
Yeah, that'll change a lot.
You know what?
That
I'm just gonna
changes
be a
nothing.
distraction then.
Bye, Will. Have a good night.
Oh my fucking life, John! Why are you like this?
Because he knows you.
Oh.
Moving target, circling the outside. The target may or may not be me.
Rumbling
Calling your own self out.
rumbling yourself is that's
you
a
wait-
brave maneuver.
Are you wanting danger close at this point?
I'm spraying my gun into the air, so maybe.
You just want the nukes dropped right on your head, huh?
I can hear.
Well, it's a tie game. I
can
wanted to
clearly hear
make it
that
interesting.
one. Darn it. Who's going to be the first one to crack?
Okay,
That's the
more ammo.
question.
Yeah.
Some numbers.
I may be running, but I'm still looking for
Oh.
traps.
Strategy, Cotton.
See if it pays off. God darn it.
I apologize
Oh,
for
feck.
you guys are hearing it.
Wait for it.
Nope, I got hit by the grenade, the mine, but I survived.
Ah, well, it's worth a shot.
Well, technically it was worth a mine.
And a mine is a terrible thing to waste.
Right.
Wonder where Caffeine's hiding. He's only died once and he's got 8 kills.
Not where I just was, that's for sure.
He almost died when I was shooting him earlier, but he got me with the shotgun.
Whereas now I got to be doubly careful because Will's respawned with new mines.
Oh, fuck you!
He has respawned with new mines again.
Alright.
It seems that the tables have turned.
No, the tables are still tied. Because it's Chrono getting close range kills. That's why this is really interesting. If someone decides to go, like, way off reservation with a heavy machine gun, they'll get a lot of kills, but it doesn't count for Diddley.
Yeah, I know I'm not winning, so I'm just having fun. I've stopped caring about not dying.
But Will, when I was,
And thus are you truly free.
I was
In this game? Kinda.
when I was letting pistol fly and I was actually doing well, I was in 3rd place with pistol.
Yeah.
Oh, dear lord!
You've been chrono fired.
Oh, bloody Vanderbeest!
Vanderbeest, with you've been chrono fired.
Need to die at least once so I can get a good pistol for the final round.
You are only chrono hired to only then just be chrono fired.
Barely missed your head.
Yep. Thank God Webley takes forever to cock and re-aim.
That's not a web loop.
The hell are you using?
Well,
Face
Rob?
of Webley.
Yeah, I'm using the well rod.
Okay, Chrono. I shot you in the gut.
Yes, you did. I have half health now.
I'd love to feel bad for you, Caffeine, but I don't.
But now I get all my mines back.
And caffeine doesn't waste his.
You know,
I don't know what you're referring to of wasting mines, because I've gotten so many
They
trap
could've-
kills today. It's almost upsetting.
they could improve
There should
the
almost be
game.
a small charity to stop me putting mines down. For how many
They could
people
improve the
I
game.
have wiped out with them.
How many bits to get Will to stop putting mines down?
To quote Dragon Ball Z, over 9,000.
No, someone already got me with that one.
But they could improve this game by allowing you to craft the traps so that you could craft mines and literally play Minecraft.
Get out!
I'll give it a 2 out of 5 on that pun.
I will be informing security.
We have security?
Some days more than others.
Alright, Chrono again. Sorry, Vanderbeest. Thank you kindly for the bits. Even if you did use them for psyche damaging level puns.
Alright, I think I've herded everyone towards the middle because I can't find anyone on the outside.
What was that about wasting mines? What was that about wasting mines? It's still 5 points out.
Except for mines don't count for range kills. You're not helping yourself.
Oh, this is so fucking loud! God darn it! That very nasally, over-the-top voice is from GameWorks informing us that 18-year-olds can get thrown the feckin' feck out.
Oh, well, that's a shame. I guess I have to leave then.
Quite possible. Quite possible. Right.
This guy can sprint for forever.
Chrono's just doing laps.
I am. I've made 2 laps arounds, as I told you guys. I was just running around on the outside, and no one's done anything about it.
I haven't seen you, that's why.
I have. It's
You
just
shot me in the gut, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Feck trying to make that range shot, you know what I'm saying?
I know, a whole 6.6 meters. That's hard. There's only one place one can make a 6.6 meter shot.
Everywhere.
The shot was coming from inside the house!
Has to be from 6.6 meters.
It has to be on the map.
If he was there, and he was there,
Then who's driving the plane?
It's like playing with Kestrel again.
ah! Thank you.
From
I can
the
change my
grave.
guns now. All right, give me my Tokarev so I can win the pistol fight at the end.
Have they ever told you the definition of insanity?
I believe the definition was something along the lines of will.
I stay in the same place and killed wave after wave of Ann Stooge.
Yeah, but you're assuming that I care about the definition of insanity. Maybe this is how I have fun.
By being the British during D-Day.
Oh.
I mean, that was kind of everybody during D-Day.
True. Well, how about then during the trench part of the landings?
Ah,
which
no,
we
no, not
war
one. No.
At the Germans.
Delicious, thank you.
Got stuck in the animation of putting down mines.
You mean there's no cancel?
No, not that I know of. I don't
You
remember the
can't,
buttons for this game.
yeah, you can't cancel out of mine placements. So that's
Nope.
the challenge, is especially for the anti-tank mines as well. They have a really long anim.
Sorry, Caffeine, he's not got a lead.
I like how you shortened animation. Because even the word is too long.
Well, no, it's from... it comes more from fighting game terms than anything.
It's gamer slang, yeah. But the animation was so long that you shortened it to anim. That just makes me smile. It's just gone 5 o'clock in the morning. Oh
Yeah,
Lord.
you better run. God, is it 5 AM in the UK?
Yep.
Bloody hell.
5 AM on a Wednesday.
Damn, dude.
Ugh.
5 AM is
Summer
my...
holidays rock.
Okay, now
There's
that's fair.
dedication, and there's dedication.
Hey, I gotta watch the stream. I'm just lurk
Oh,
all the
fuck.
time. You know?
We have a high-speed chrono out and about, doing a
You
murder.
Stayed next to my corpse.
I was getting some... I was getting a drink. It's fine. I was going for the outside bar for a change.
Okay.
Still everything to
About
play
6
for.
minutes till pistol round.
This game ain't over. Yeah, personally, 5 AM's like what I consider like that's the life or death. Like, you hit 5 AM and either that's the point where you're like, nah, I'm done for the day. Like, I ain't gonna get to sleep, so I've got to power through, or it's the everything's gonna hurt. A lot of neg breakfasts.
I've stayed awake for several days for a bet that I got nothing out of. So this
Yeah,
is
that's
fine.
called no.
I'm gonna file that under a big old bag of note.
So yeah, this is fine for me at this point. I'm used to it.
Well, Will should be used to it as well. Being the time vortex he is.
Okay, the time vortex has not been proven.
There's a joke on a few Discords I'm on to where I have blood magic that gives me 4 extra hours in the day to sleep.
Ugh. Takes a few minutes extra hours myself. Alright, let's see who we can see. Let's have a look in a book. I'm Melanie
You
B.
become a sailor.
Ball selected.
Will went to see CC. To see what he could see. CC.
It's a proper ball. Ooh, what happened there?
Corridor fight.
Oh!
Oh!
Very
Yo!
Everything's
Good
popping off.
CCC was a steady aim
It's a,
at someone's face.
that was a full tilt shot as well. Like Stooge was running. Yeah.
Well, it looked like you, at least based on the animation, it looked like you went through the front of my face.
No, I mean it wasn't a good time.
Did you not know that bullets go down before entering the face?
It's been known to happen. It's been known to happen. Meanwhile, somewhere in Marrakesh, a congregation of idiots congeal towards fighting each other with rifles. No idea why they're doing it. The idea that this is some kind of like horrific sniper purgatory always kind of haunts me.
You
Really?
may
I thought that
never
was
escape.
Kestrel's giggle that haunted me.
That's haunting.
Yeah, no.
You may never escape, and you shall always stay here and fight with these random assortment of weapons
The death.
that we have collected over the ages,
Yeah.
until one of you comes out on top.
I was actually surprised they didn't try and do that, but as in try and like launch the multiplayer as like a bit of a standalone. Because I know. Oh, what was the other one? Ooh. What was
I
that
believe
shot
there's
from?
a genre that's done that, and I believe it might be called Battle Royale.
God,
Impressive. Where's
I've been stalking you for so long! And
I've
I
never-
hit wood like 12 times with that clip.
I mean, mathematically, every bullet hit the fucking wood. Like, your guys should get a sniper award for missing me that well.
Congratulations, you successfully shot your target.
The wood.
0 times. At a range of 2 meters.
I mean, we're talking like a teeny tiny sliver of wood took 12 rounds. Like, mathematically, that's almost impossible.
Okay, looking at the clip now, 8 rounds, but still.
Up
It always
and
seems
over.
more before you have a look at the number.
That's magic bullets right there. Alright, there is
1
still...
minute 45. 1
Alright.
minute 45.
There is still everything to play for. Difference of 5 points.
Alright. I'm officially running counterclockwise around the outside. Free target. If you can snipe me while I'm running.
Why snipe when you can shotgun?
Well, you need more than 5 points is the problem.
Shotgun would only close the gap. It wouldn't provide a victory.
But then you can get the victory in the pistol round.
That doesn't count.
I've gotten a 22-meter pistol shot before.
The ranges in the pistol round are so minuscule that you don't get barely any points.
It's just based on the total distance of your shots.
So the question is Caffeine gonna find a good spot to hide out and wait for it to go down? Ooh,
There you go, Caffeine.
Where was that?
I was running by a bunch of sandbags with barbed wire.
Radio Shack.
Oh, okay, yeah, there was a radio in that shack, so yeah, that makes sense.
Did that just go through his lung?
Yup. He was doing like a fucking commando leap.
That sounds painful.
Oh yeah.
Alright. 15 seconds.
The good news is I don't care about that anymore.
Pistols at dawn!
Dawn your pistols!
Alright. 5 seconds in. Alright.
Alright.
Everybody start moving.
I'll see you in the pit.
To the pit.
I'm not
The
curious.
clock turns red and the death shall be dispensed!
Dispensing death in 35 seconds.
run. Dang it, I can't do squat today.
Art. The Webley angers me because I know for a fact, like this game angers me a lot on accuracy.
Oh, no,
Like I know for a fact the Webley's not that inaccurate.
Just think that the sniper that was holding the Webley is that inaccurate.
That makes
May
it
not
worse.
be the gun's fault.
They're compensating for all the things the sniper rifle has that the Webley doesn't.
Oh.
And that's why they can't hit.
Alright.
I respawned just as the time expired.
To be fair, that was Caffeine's win. I got that pistol kill at the end, which was a headshot on a rifle. But so that match
Wait.
was Caffeine's win.
You used a rifle in the pistol round?
No, I got a pistol kill on my rival, which is an extra 5
Oh,
points.
rival, yeah.
Also, Caffeine got the longest round shot. Congratulations.
Yep, 182.
I don't know what my longest shot in this game is, but it's something stupid.
So, on this map, I
Congratulations,
think the
Captain.
longest shot you can get is to the Hotel Scipio from the
It's from Baskets to
port.
Scipio is the long one.
From where?
From Baskets to Scipio, I think, is the longest one you can do.
No, it's the porch sitting. You go directly across the map. You got kind of that porch area.
There's a couple boxes and some baskets on the roof.
Yeah, that one. That's the longest shot I've been able to find. It's like 286.
Where the baskets are.
I thought the baskets were the building next to Allied Carpets.
Well, that is not a kettle of monkeys. Well, what I will say, friendos, is we have absolutely blitzed the video game conversations, but we have had a stonkingly good time. I'm just quickly having a look to see what my... what is my long shot? Hang on.
What is that? Service record?
Yeah, there we go.
Stats.
My longest shot is 655 meters. That's a while.
365 is my best.
Right, so I want to thank my contestants, guests, and violence dispensers for jumping in and popping shots off at each other. Thank you all, wonderful gentlemen.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
I too was here.
Right, and so friendos, what a feckin' great day. We had Joe Cat in the morning, Snipes in the evening. I count that as a lovely little complete package. I don't know about you lot. I know I had a good time. But what I am going to do is I'm going to bring this to a close. We went a little bit longer this morning than this evening, and you know what? I think, 8 hours total of streaming? I think that's a pretty good day. So we did 5.5, 2.5. That's pretty strong. So I'm going to do cheeky, teeny, tiny credits for the evening. And then we are going to continue from there. Right. God, you can tell I'm distracted. So what are we doing tomorrow? That is an excellent question. I've had a request to do Frostpunk tomorrow. And so that is what we are throwing ourselves at. If you haven't encountered Frostpunk, it is by 11-Bit Studios, publishing a whole bunch of games that I feckin' love. Hang on, that's a bit loud. Yeah, it is moral conscience at a social level, so it's a very interesting title, and I'm looking forward to showing you all. Anyway, let me get those credits rolling, because I've absolutely hit the wall, you lovely folks. And then we'll have to find some lovely person to crash on into. Getting to do 2 credits a day makes me happy, though. Get to thank just as many people. And we are 32 people away from 2k followers. So, a bunch of you threw bits at my face. That is why we get to keep doing this. So I'm going to continue to thank you lot obtusely for them. So to Dashkal, DXMan, Vanderbeast, LevDev, Isocrid, Aaron Feathers, Just Diver, and an anonymous Mother Hubbard. Thank you kindly. Your moderator this evening was Caffeine, but a shout out to Tal and Lizzie because always. And those that subbed, resubbed, and were the recipients of House Carl's gifts. Tickatu, Prof. Barnsworth, Rainier, Dorchus, Heldwarf, and Venreris. Venreris? God, I'm tripping over my words so badly. Yeah, this is a sign. Will needs to call it an evening. Thank you all, you magnificent bunch. So yeah, tomorrow we're going to do Frostpunk. It's gonna be dope. Howdy. Oh, like virals. Pyroshade, I'm glad you've had fun, yo. It's been super cool. It's been super cool. Right. Oh, Helldwarf's heading out. Hey, no worry, Helldwarf, no worry. And Pyroshade, you're entirely correct. Heads were turned into jam. Games were had. Had ourselves a splendiferous little evening. God, I can't believe how fried I am. What a stonkingly good day. Right, I need to make the events for tomorrow, and then I'm going to crawl home and pass the fecking feck out. Right, I love you guys. Yeah, tomorrow, Frostpunk. Thursday, I will get back to you on. But Thursday evening, I'm in a podcast, and then we'll do another round of something, either some Monster Hunter or some TF2. Not some TF2, some Teamfight Tactics or something. Friday, I have a cracking guest on. I have a survivor of games journalism of the highest regard. So if you want to know anything about games media, how it works, or what you should be paying attention to, I absolutely look forward to introducing you to Susan Arndt. And then on Friday, it's more Dark Souls, because that's what I want to play. Alright, so, I love you all. Thank you so much for a cracking night. I'll see you tomorrow. We got some Frostpunk tomorrow! It's gonna be great! See you tomorrow.